Yaha! Yaha! Welcome, welcome! Thank you so much for coming. Welcome to the stream. Daibu Haishin e yokoso! I am Kaelix Debonair, the goofy bouncer of NIJISANJI and 11th Wave by the beat. Hello. Yaha! Welcome, welcome! Oh my goodness, it's been a minute. I scheduled so many collabs back to back. Something you'll learn about me is that I'm really bad at saying no to anybody, especially somebody who's cool. I'm really bad. They'll be like, hey Kaelix, you want to do this? Yes. Oh, that was fast. Are you sure you don't want to check your calendar? No. Let's do it. You sure you don't want to check your calendar first? There might be some No. Let's do it. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll try to be more careful in the future about it, but I just get so excited to hang out with others and to do cool stuff. But I hope you could enjoy those collabs if you saw any of them. There was let's see, what was there? There was the music relay, the karaoke relay, very first karaoke relay for By the Beat. I really enjoyed that one. I think that's my favorite thing I've done since debut. Either that or my solo karaoke. I just really love karaoke. I love karaoke so much. So singing with my boys was very fun, and I also love just hanging out with them. I've mentioned this before. We spend an ungodly amount of time together in VC off stream, so it's kind of nice to just sit and talk on stream as well. And then what else is there? There was the D&D campaign the next day. Did you enjoy that? Sorry, I did not get as far into the role play as I thought I was going to. I was just so taken aback by the hilarity of Gordon Belfoot. He was just so accurately and carefully and perfectly curated to everything that I find funny. It was so dangerous. I could not articulate myself at all, because every time I would try, I would see his little face on the screen and I'd think about how much he had suffered. It was so good. Genuinely, it was the funniest thing in the world to me. I think that's the hardest I've laughed in months. Oh my goodness. It was so good. Oh, did you like my character? Did you like Cobb? Even as little presence as he had, aside from me just laughing the whole time. I don't know. I kind of want to repurpose him for something. It was kind of goofy. My vision for him was kind of like the most cliche first D&D ever character ever. I could not decide. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do a human fighter or a half-elf bard, because I think both of those are cliche, like first campaign player characters. But I thought the human fighter would probably be best. I didn't actually find out until the stream that there wouldn't be any combat, and that's what I was most nervous about. Because, you know, I feel like I can improv along with somebody, I can ad-lib, and I can get invested in roleplay, but I was scared that I would hold back combat and cause a TPK in the end, but we didn't even need it. The accent was great. Yeah, I thought I'd give him a bit of a twang. I don't know. My vision for him as a character, aside from that, was I wanted him to be the most irredeemably stupid, straight-faced man ever. I never ended up getting into it enough to like share this in the campaign, but I remember when I filled out the character sheet, there's like if you've ever filled out a character sheet before, you'd know you have to fill out ideals and personality traits and flaws and stuff like that. And I remember they were right next to each other. So bond. I think a bond is like something that makes you want to adventure, right? What keeps you on the path to wherever you're going. The bond I wrote for him was based on what ISMVI asked of us. She said that we could make any kind of character we wanted, but specifically requested that the character has a good enough reason to try and steal something from a powerful wizard, which was like the whole, you know, that's the setup for the whole campaign, right? We got imprisoned because we stole from Belphegor. So my concept for him, in the bond, I wrote, I would like to steal something from an old magician, sell it, and buy the moon as a present for my beautiful wife. And then for the flaws, which was right next to that, I wrote, I am not a particularly skilled thief, and I'm abysmally unintelligent. Also, I don't have a wife yet. I thought it'd be so cute if he was just like so desperate for love or something like that, or maybe he had a crush at home and that's why he stole. Yeah, that was it never ended up coming out. I was just laughing too hard. I couldn't. And I don't regret it at all. I do not regret a single thing about that campaign. Honestly, I'm glad that it went this way. That was the most fun I've had in a while. My Shayla. Yeah, he wanted to buy the moon for his future wife. Cause you know who's gonna? Cause he, you know, he came from a farm town, but he wasn't a proper farmer. He didn't own any land. He was just a farm hand. You know, who's gonna get with this guy? He needs money. Yeah, it was a really fun time. I had a lot of fun with that. It was my first time too, so very precious to me. I will remember this party forever. I get so thankful. I've seen a couple of the algorithm has pushed a couple pieces of fan art of the party to my page, and it's made me so happy. It makes me so happy to see these freaks next to each other. It was also kind of goofy. I made him shorter than my actual height. You know, he was not 185 centimeters tall, but because he was the only human in the room, it ended up being the same as usual. I was the tallest person in the party. And then you got Burlock gnomes. Oh my goodness, he was short. He wasn't that short. I think he was like average height. I think I can't remember exactly the height I listed, but I think he was shorter than 6 feet tall at least, right? And then Say Pudding being an 8-inch tall baby, just an actual baby. Do you wish to be short? You can admit it. I don't know if I particularly wish to be, but honestly, I would not complain because I've mentioned this before. Being tall is cool, and it's obviously beloved by people. People like you more if you're tall for some reason, but for me, I've never cared so much about that part, and I really hate the inconveniences that come with it. For example, it's a lot harder to keep my posture in check. I have to like keep it in my mind at all times because on a subconscious level, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but on a subconscious level, a lot of people will like try to match the height of the people around them. So if I'm in a room with others, I find that if I'm not thinking about it, which I have to be thinking about it, and I usually am, but if I'm not, I'm like leaning down almost. I'm bending my head down so that I can meet people at their level. And that's not cool. That doesn't look cool. What the heck? You ever hit the door frame with your head? Thankfully, no. Thankfully, I'm not 7 feet tall, but that's more of like a running joke. The other inconveniences aside from posture is like pain. I get back pain from it sometimes as well. Yeah, it kind of blows. It's not cool. I have to do like regular stretches so that my back can be in good health because I'm predisposed to that. And then the other one is shopping for clothes. I can't just walk into a store and find clothes in my size. I usually have to get it specially ordered in my exact size. Otherwise, especially for pants is the worst. It'll be the right, it'll be the right size for my waist, but then it will be too short. Or if it's long enough to cover all of my legs, it's super humongous in the waist and I have to wear a belt. And it's always like a ton of extra fabric that's just clinging around. Nah, it's not cool. I would love the fantasy of walking into a store and just buying clothes in my exact size and being able to try them on successfully in the store. Yeah, no, otherwise I got my ankles sticking out. I have a very limited number of pants in my size. Genuinely, I think I have like 5 or 6 pairs. And I've tried so many. I'm very excited to, like, in the future when I can spend a little bit more frivolously, be a little bit less frugal. I'm excited to start getting more like stylish pants in my size. I default to like 3 pairs of khakis and 3 pairs of jeans, and I think that's it. Do you look like a stick bug? Well, you've seen me. Do I look like a stick bug? I don't think I do. I'm not that tall. I'm just taller enough than average that it stands out. What else did I do? There was a collab with Vox Senpai as well. He was in the D&D campaign, so it's kind of like double up back-to-back Vox collabs. And that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. I hope it didn't show that I was sleep deprived. Did it? I find that I feel like 90% of that stream was just Vox saying the most astute things about all these characters, being like, oh yes, this is exactly how this would go down. And then I would just be like, ha 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 ha. I don't know. I feel like it's a very deadly combo, right? It's a combo of 3 things. In general, I am very easy to make laugh. Everything's funny to me, and I laugh at everything. Number 2 is that Vox is particularly funny to me. He's the type of person that... Because, I love when people will just say really funny things rather than do really funny things. I think he's an intellectual comic. Do you know what I mean? he says the things that make me laugh. So he's very funny in that way. So that's the double. And then the triple is that I was on 3 hours of sleep or less. And the sleepier I am, the funnier everything is to me and the harder it is to articulate my thoughts. So I got like triple no scoped that whole thing. I had a lot of fun though, and it was really like, aside from just being fun, it was really cathartic for me actually. Because I don't know, I always kind of grew up being the annoying kid that would get be like, Kaelix, stop talking about this. Nobody wants to hear this. So it was very nice to like be in a room with somebody who's willing to just, you know, go ape. It was very cool. I really, really, really enjoyed that. It felt good. I feel like it healed something in me. Because even aside from being a kid and being really annoying about this, I've had to develop the strategy of just controlling how long I talk about things. Thankfully, it's not as much of a problem when it comes to streaming, but you know, in conversations with others, someone will mention Zelda and then suddenly I'm digging my fingernails into my thighs. Like, no, you can't talk about it. So it was really, really nice. I really, really enjoyed that. I hope that you can enjoy it as well. And then I completely failed to use that to fix my schedule. I was planning to use that collab at that weird hour for me to, you know, stay up all day. And then the collab finished and I was like, all right, you got this, Kaelix, like tapping my bicep. And then I took a little nap for 4 hours. Honestly though, it's an achievement that the nap was only 4 hours, because considering when I went to sleep, I very easily could have slept for like 10. So then I ended up staying up all night. Did you get to sleep after Sunny's birthday stream? Yeah, I showed up for that as well. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. That was when I was at my sleepiest. Between the two collabs, between D&D and Vox's collab. I just really wanted to be there. I wasn't able to schedule myself for any of the games that he had. And I felt so sad about that. So I was very thankful that he didn't open Totsu. Though I was also actively working the whole time. So I worry that I may have been a little quiet. I don't know. I'm very, like, I am so overwhelmed, honestly, with excitement to work with and to get to know my senpai, because I've watched them for a while and I think they're all really, really cool. But I'm also, they've all reassured me about this, every single one that I've spoken to about it, but I'm a little hesitant about forcing myself in too quickly. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I should be a little bit more cautious. I don't want to be like, I have arrived and you should be aware of me now. So I'm trying to be a little careful about that, you know, like involve myself in things so that they can know that I'm interested in getting to know them, but not make it about me. It's tough. But yeah, thankfully everyone that's noticed this or that I've shared this with has been very reassuring. They've been like, no, we want to get to know you. Please do more. So I will do my best moving forward. 3 streams in your time zone. Yeah, I guess I was, wasn't I? Because for some people that would be like D&D in the morning, and then Sunny Totsu in the evening, and then Vox collab at night. That's pretty cool. That's like more than I can usually handle. My throat is a little fragile, and I've actually been experiencing some serious vocal strain recently. So I have to be extra careful about how long I stream or like how many streams I join. So honestly, that's like a unicorn sighting as far as I'm concerned. All right, we can continue talking, but I need to start up this game or we're never gonna start. This is what happens whenever it's like more than 2 days without just yapping on our own, you know, just you and me. So let me go ahead and make sure this is working. I did a sound check before, but please feel free to let me know once we've started if things are weird. Okay, this one. Also, I hope you don't mind the change. I've decided that moving forward indefinitely, I'm gonna start playing games like Zelda on full screen instead of with my usual overlay, just because due to the strength of my PC, I suffer some serious quality losses. And I figure that the game may be easier for you to look at and enjoy if it takes up more of my limited bitrate. You know what I mean? I hope you don't mind the change in the norm, since we've played it. You know, we've played it with the little border this whole time. But yeah, as I mentioned, I did a sound check before, so it should be consistent with previous streams, but do not be afraid to let me know if I need to adjust it, especially as BGM starts playing or as we start encountering monsters and stuff. Let me also adjust where I'm sitting, adjust my microphone. What's your problem? All right, here, you can sit and look at his little face while I figure this out. Okay, I'm gonna move this over here. And I should move you as well. I'm gonna move the little chat so that I can see everything you have to say. And then let's see. Okay, looks like so far so good. Thank you so much for spot checking me. I appreciate it. Just a little bit down. Okay. Here, I'll lower it by 1 decibel since it's only a couple that are saying down. I'll also say I may be a little bit louder than I was when I was adjusting things, because I'll be closer to my microphone. All right. Again, please feel free to do the same thing we're doing now if things get louder. There are some BGM tracks that are louder than others. And sometimes it can be a bit of a jump scare. Okay, and then this should... Why is he... Oh, there's a baby sleeping over there. Okay. Let me... I think I've got one more thing and then I'll be ready. Sorry about this. It's impossible for me to do this as we're chatting normally. I have to like devote everything to moving everything around. Okay. Okay. Is this good? Or wait, hold on. Okay, give me 1 more minute. Okay. Sorry about that. I think we're good now. Oh wait, let me also move my tea so that I can sip it. I saw people asking, can you guess? Today's tea is throat coats. I know. I'm like, I'm trying to try new teas, and then I'll be like, okay, this is one of 3 teas that you've already heard about. Are you all rested today? For better or worse, I am. I was planning to bounce off of the nap that I took yesterday to sleep only like 4 or 5 hours last night, because I went to bed at like 6 a.m. I was like, okay, I can just set a bunch of alarms at noon. Slept through every single one. There were straight up like 6 alarms back to back running from noon through like 2 p.m. I woke up at 4. I did not notice a single one of those alarms. Either that or I can't actually tell you. I don't know the truth. I do not know the truth here, but something that happens a lot is it's so embarrassing. I will set an alarm and then I'll set a bunch of backup alarms, right? But here's the problem. Those alarms are not for Kaelix Debonair. Those alarms are for someone entirely different. The person that like is waking up to these alarms, that's not Kaelix. That's not me anymore. And that person is very selfish and he's not very considerate of his needs. So he'll wake up to the first alarm and then he'll immediately disable all the subsequent alarms. And then I have no recollection of it at all. Yeah, Sleepy Kaelix is a different person. So there's a good chance that happened and I just don't realize it. I don't know. Hello, Iki-senpai. Thank you for stopping by. Do you like the taste of it? I love the taste of it. That's the main reason it's my favorite. Yeah. Because I try to drink teas that are specifically good for vocal maintenance. I drink a lot of like licorice and ginger. And I find that throat coat, specifically the original licorice with slippery elm, it has a taste that is not overwhelming to me. And it's kind of sweet. It's got a nice subtle aftertaste. It's not for everybody. Some people actually find that aftertaste and texture kind of uncomfortable. But I really, really like it. She-leak is crazy. Is that my opposite? Wait, how would that be? It would be God, doing this in my brain is so difficult. It'd be Rianobed. It'd be She-leak Rianobed. She-leak Rianobed. Throat coat works so well. I hate the taste personally. I see. You see what I'm saying? It's not for everybody. Yeah, I found it really, really refreshing when I first got into it. I love that. I like, you know, I guess it appeals to me because I like sweet things. And I also, before I started drinking tea, I just really loved drinking water. I just like drinking room temp water, nothing else. And so I kind of like that with throat coat. The base taste is almost nothing. It tastes like you're drinking nothing. And then the aftertaste is sweet, at least in my opinion. I really, really, really like that. Thought ginger was for the stomach, not for the throat. It can do a bunch. Ginger is one of those like super ingredients, right? Yeah, you can use it for a lot of things. But ginger tea especially is really, really good for the throat. Yeah, it has the same properties as licorice. And lately with ginger, I've been drinking specifically, it's like ginger, licorice, and then a bunch of other herbs. So it's kind of like a super combo. Wait, I'm noticing another issue. Hold on. Let me fix this.
Okay. We should be good now. Okay. So, I have no objective in mind for today's Zelda stream. We're just gonna ball, go wherever. So, we've found one memory on the way to Mount Lanayru. I thought about going straight up to the top of Lanayru, but I don't feel like it's a good time because we don't have anything to keep ourselves warm. Don't have all the ingredients we need to cook up a bunch of like dishes for that purpose. So I think we're gonna save Lanayru for another day. We'll summit it another time. We could maybe try to clean up more of this map. Maybe we could go to the tower today. Maybe try to get a couple from these places as well. This one in particular is really dangerous. The tower that's around here, or I wonder if I could find that. I guess I probably couldn't looking through the peaks, but there's a tower for the Hyrule field area, and it's surrounded by these laser freaks. I can't stand those guys. Hello, Cassian Floroso, first stage production EN. Thank you so much for stopping by. Do you dissolve the licorice in water? No, actually, I'm a bit lazy. I think that doing things that way, I think it's called free leaf tea, right? When you just put the leaves or the herbs in a boiling pot and then you strain it out for your cup of tea. I think that's always going to be the best, most effective, and also like the best tasting tea. But I find that I am very lazy, and that's a little too much effort for me. So I'm a tea bagger. I just do tea bags, or I guess that's not what tea bagger is, but you know what I mean? Yeah, I just like to do tea bags. It's very convenient for me. I love to buy a bunch of boxes in bulk. I buy them 6 boxes at a time, and then I spend a few months going through them. And I love before a stream, just 30 minutes before, I love to just set it up and then forget about it. And then by the time I start, it's cooled down enough that I can drink it. Whoa, what do you mean, whoa? What's the problem, Shu Senpai? What did I do? What did I... Am I in trouble? Is it the tea bag? Is it the tea bag thing? No, in the context of video games, I would never do such a thing. Oh my god, I don't know if you're familiar, but there's actually a Splatoon equivalent to teabagging. Because I never played any of like I never played Call of Duty, I never played CSGO, I never played any of those games. I was never an FPS gamer. So I'm not as familiar with a lot of the culture, aside from just listening to my friends play it. But in Splatoon, we got something called squid bagging, where, because you know in Splatoon you can switch between a humanoid form and a squid form, or if you're an octoling, an octopus form, like a little creature on the ground, and you switch very, very quickly between the two. And if you if you switch up and down between like kid and squid, that's called squid bagging, and it kind of almost sounds like you're laughing as well, because there's a little sound effect that plays when you do it, and if you do it fast enough, it's almost like a little chortle. And it's like it's considered BM for Splatoon. If you splat someone and immediately just start squid bagging, like up down up down up down. Yeah. Yeah, not the squid bagging. That's exactly what it's called. That's exactly what we call it. You'll be great Valorant. I'd love to try Valorant though. I say that I'm almost scared when it comes to FPS games because it's too immersive for me. It makes me feel like I'm actually getting gunned down, but I'd really like to try it. I have a lot of friends that play it. Now I've got a lot of cool senpai that play it. So there will come a day that I play it. Probably not soon. I need to upgrade my PC first before I have confidence running games like that. I do think that I've learned that a lot of people play games like these on the lowest graphic settings even when they can handle it though. Just because it's like a sweaty thing, right? I think the lower the graphics are, the more frame accurate you can be. Is that how that works? I don't know all the science behind that. I don't know the strat. Choose recruitment is working. No, like his the thing what is the name of that character? I don't remember the character or the movie he's from, but that white dog, I think he wears glasses and he like does like a little hypnosis thing with his hand. You get immersed in shooters. We should play GTFO. Is that a shooter? I'm not familiar with that one. I've never heard it. Yeah, I get like almost unhealthily immersed in the games that I play, to the extent that like, this is an anecdote I share sometimes. When I was in high school, I had a friend who, like she was studying for college. And so she had a lot of trouble studying properly because she had a little brother that she was responsible for. So in order for her to like get her prep time in for her SATs, I would sit and call with her little brother and I would play video games with him. Just to, you know, keep him occupied, keep him distracted. And then we'd all join like a group VC after she was done. And I remember there was a time that, mind you, he was like 4 or 5 years old at this point. We were playing Animal Crossing together, Animal Crossing New Horizons, I think. I can't remember. And I remember there was a point where he pulls out his bug net and he starts chasing me with it. And mind you, this is a 4-year-old in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Despite this, that was enough for me to start feeling like my heart was palpitating. I felt like I was being chased by something in real life. It was scary. I get so immersed and it's almost dangerous for me. Well, yeah, so when it comes to video games that are different, you know, not third person, not cutesy, everything's in first person and it's meant to be a little alarming, a little overwhelming. That's when it becomes almost overstimulating to me. That being said, it can be very, very fun with friends. Okay, I guess this is not the strat, what I'm doing right here. Yeah, for that reason, I do really enjoy it with friends. So I do think that I would enjoy something like Valorant. Because I've enjoyed Phasmophobia, for example. Phasmophobia by myself would be a nightmare. I could never handle that. But Phasmophobia with a group of 4, where I've got 3 people that can just, you know, babysit me and keep me company. Subnautica. I've always been curious about that because I love the ocean and I love things that are themed around the ocean, but I've never played it, so I don't actually know. But I figure it's in that territory. Anything FPS is like almost super like dangerous, turbo immersive to me. What have I missed here? I keep trying to dive. Can you not make yourself dive in Breath of the Wild? Is that only Tears of the Kingdom? Yeah, I think in Breath of the Wild you only dive if you jump directly over a body of water, is how that works. Quite frightening. Have you tried League? That's one I will never try. Sorry about that. I have a very strict policy with League of Legends. I know I've mentioned that I'd concede Valorant so that I could hang out with friends or like get to know people better, because that's a very good social game, I think. League of Legends, it's another it's another one of those games similar to like CS:GO and Valorant, where my exposure to it has been sitting in call while my other friends play it without me. But League of Legends, it's like the sounds that I hear my friends make when they play these games, you know? I do not play such games. That's one of those games where I just hear people get legitimately angry and tilted, and it just sounds really overwhelming. Yeah, I'm sure that the game is very fun. Otherwise, it would not be as successful as it is, right? But it's just not for me personally. Yeah, it's not. That game is not for me. Maybe if I did get a running jump start. Can I run? Okay. Please. Yes! Yes! I win! Is that Pokemon Unite? Because I love Pokemon. I have thought about Pokemon Unite, but also that general format. What is that called? Is it MOBA? I think MOBAs are cool, but it's not for me. That's not my kind of game. The kind of game where it's that kind of bird's eye. Is that bird's eye view? That overhead view with the strategy and the you go here, I go there. That's not for Kaelix. Sure, it's very, very fun. It's not for Kaelix. Do you like roguelike? I think the only roguelike I've ever properly played was Cult of the Lamb. That counts, right? That's a roguelike. And I really enjoyed that. But you know, when I played Cult of the Lamb, what I got invested in was actually the farm sim portion of Cult of the Lamb, where, you know, you're just making little berries and feeding your people. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And playing on the lower difficulty was, you know, it was okay enough for me to get through the roguelike portion of the game. How about regular Pokemon? I love regular Pokemon. I'm desperate to stream one of them for you. Just a matter of when and what. A Genmate and I have actually been talking a lot recently about like dual streaming Scarlet and Violet. Like one of us does Scarlet, the other does Violet. But it's tough because that would be like a longer running series. And we're both definitely going to play, like, what is it called? ZA? Is that the name for the next Legends line? Next iteration of Pokemon Legends. We're both going to want to play that as soon as it comes out, you know? So it's tough to, like, plan a series now if we can't determine for certain that we'll be finished by the time ZA comes out, and we'll just drop the one we're doing. Soul Link Nuzlocke? I don't know about a Nuzlocke. I think Nuzlocks are fun to watch, but I don't enjoy doing them personally. I get too attached to my Pokemon And if I had to put one away forever, I'd be really sad. You know, that's another part of my immersion, right? I know that, objectively speaking, take Romani here, for example. This horse, she's just a combination of pixels on a screen. That's all she is. She is a combination of code behind the screen, pixels that are displayed on the screen, and sound effects that were pre-rendered and recorded for my enjoyment. Despite this, to me, this is my precious companion. This is my horse. This is my real life horse, and I have to protect her from all these guys that are trying to get on her level, you know? All these freaks that are trying to hit her with their sticks and their stones. They got nothing on Romani, because she's my horse, and I'll keep her safe, you know? That's how I feel about my Pokemon. So even if a Pokemon just KOs, right? Because that's traditional Pokemon, they just KO. Nothing bad happens and you can just revive them. That still is devastating to me. You know, I feel like if a Pokemon takes that kind of damage, it makes me feel like I've failed them somehow. So I try to take care of them and I try to level them up strategically so that they don't have to be put in that position. And so yeah, I don't think I would enjoy a Nuzlocke very much. I think it would just really stress me out, unfortunately. I hope that's not too disappointing. I do want to push myself to do similar types of challenge runs for other games though. Yeah, for Pokemon specifically, I think I'd just get really sad. I think I'd just get really sad the moment I have to put one away or release it into the wild, you know? You don't like it when they take damage or faint? I really don't. I start to take like serious, legitimate offense for them. Like, how could you do this to my precious child? I just get too immersed. It's all too real to me. That's one of the reasons I've grown up loving video games so much. Wait, oh, the tower was right next to Dueling Peaks. You see it? We could have gone straight to it out of the exit. I find that I'm using the map more than I thought I would because Tears of the Kingdom has changed the way that it looks in my brain. So maybe we should kind of prioritize getting the towers where we can. And I think getting that tower will make the road to Zora's Domain a little bit easier, don't you think? Yeah, I really love video games, and I really love getting immersed in them. So for that reason, I particularly enjoy games that immerse me in a way that makes me happy rather than that stresses me out. So yeah, you'll see Valorant someday, I'm sure, with a group. You'll never see Valorant where it's just me playing. That will never happen. I think there'd be no enjoyment for me if I was just playing it alone. Is there a specific order for Zelda? Yeah, there are 2 orders that you can follow. There's the release order, right? And that's just simply the order they were released in, starting with the original The Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And then there's chronological order, which was established when when Skyward Sword came out. Okay, I know we literally just crossed this bridge and went in a circle, but I think we're gonna go back. Or maybe I could leave my horse here and just go on foot. Nah, we're gonna cross the bridge. I want to take her with me. Yeah, there's a chronological order. They've released this information with Skyward Sword. However, they actually did have a consistent timeline that was consistent with the Skyward Sword release of information. Specifically, almost exclusive to small details in the game and in the game manuals that they used to release alongside the... You know, like when they used to release... They'd have a game in its little box, and inside the box there'd be a little manual for how to enjoy the game and everything about it. Yeah, they'd sometimes have lore in those. And the lore was consistent with the Skyward Sword timeline. So we can tell that they didn't just throw it together out of nowhere. There are definitely details in the timeline that feels like, oh, Papa Nintendo just came up with this right now so that there could be a timeline. But aside from those like minute details, it does seem consistent. And it does seem like they had it in mind from at least the second or third Zelda game. Yeah, it's really, really cute. And it actually begins. The chronology begins with Skyward Sword. I actually thought of streaming Skyward Sword instead of Breath of the Wild first for that reason. I had this baby vision of like, oh, you should play all the Zelda games in chronological order. But I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's going to box me in and it's going to prevent me from playing whatever Zelda game I really want to play at that time. I'll definitely play Skyward Sword at some point though. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, it starts with Skyward Sword. And then there are a few games in between that and the junction. The junction is where the timeline splits. Yeah. You know what's better than 1 timeline? You know what's better than 2 timelines? 3 timelines. There are 3 distinct Zelda timelines at one point. Because in Ocarina of Time, the timeline fractures into 3 pieces. The reason for that is that Ocarina of Time involves time travel. In Ocarina of Time, you don't just play the adventure and that's the end of it. You travel between 2 different points in history, 7 years apart from each other. I think it's 7 years, right? Or wait, I don't need to use these guys are one-hit KOs. You get the torch. Because in Ocarina of Time, you travel 7 years forward, and then you travel 7 years back. So that junction creates 3 timelines. There is the timeline 7 years forward that you leave behind when you go back. There is the timeline 7 years back, where nothing ever happens in the first place. Everything is prevented from the get-go. And then there's a third timeline scenario where it's in the future, but everything is devastated. You know, you lose. And that's where the rest of the games continue. Yeah, there's a timeline if he loses. There's a timeline if Link takes an L, which I always thought was really, really cool. I don't know. I know I talk about how I just like to play things that are very uplifting and happy, but I also really, really love tragedy in fiction and storytelling. So I love that there is a string of about, I think, 7 Zelda games now that... I love that there's a string of about 7 Zelda games now that are dependent on the scenario where Link loses and the world is devastated by that loss. Fun trivia. You swim a little faster if you don't wear clothes. Yeah, I really, really like that. Because, for example, in the Fallen Hero timeline, I think is the official name for it. It's the one that people accept, at least. In that timeline, the precedent, right, is that Ganon reclaims his power and he rules over the world for a while. And as a result, a lot of races are very different. One race that shows up in a lot of Zelda games is the Zoras, for example. They're the aquatic people. They swim around, and they're usually very friendly with Hylians. However, in the Fallen timeline, they're very different. They swim in the they swim in the rivers instead of in the oceans or in the lakes, and they're very territorial and isolated. They hate intruders and they hate Hylians, and they're enemies that you actually fight in most of those games. And I think the canon reason for that is that they canonically severed ties after the devastation of the war, you know? I think things like that are really, really cool. And I also really loved in what is it? Echoes of Wisdom, the most recent Zelda title where you play as Zelda. I'm 99% sure that's set in the Fallen Hero timeline. And something cute about that is that they introduce a juxtaposition of River Zoras and Ocean Zoras, so that they have both of them from across the timelines, you know? And I thought that was so cool. I thought that was so cool. That made me really happy. I always wanted something like that. I'd love to see that in my vision for a super cool Zelda game, my dream. I dream of this. I've dreamed of this since I was a tween. You ready for this? I want a Zelda MMORPG in the style of MMOs like Final Fantasy, where you can play as a Zora, you can play as a Goron, you can play as Gerudo, etc. And each one has a sub-race as well. Because across all the different Zelda games, the races are slightly different. For example, in some Zelda games, Gorons live in the mountains. But in other Zelda games, they live in caves. That's like 2 distinctly different ways of life. Or for the Gerudo, there are some games where they live in the desert. There is a game where they are actually pirates. They live on the beach. And they're pirates. They sail around stealing stuff. For Zoras, they have like ocean Zoras, lake Zoras, river Zoras. Wouldn't that be so cool? Don't you think that'd be so cool? I would love that so much. Anyway. Yahoo! Yahoo! I love these things. It's so cool. So cinematic. Yeah, that's my dream. My dream Zelda story is one where... My vision for it is that Link and Zelda get sealed in amber or something. You know how Zelda seals herself in amber at some point? I dream of a reincarnation of Hylia where she's just sick of it. She's been through this timeline stuff. She's been through all this reincarnation and she doesn't want to do it anymore. So they get sealed in amber. So the Triforces of Wisdom and Courage, they're both sealed away and they're unused. So the people have to rise up. You know, the regular non-Triforce wielding people. And that'd be the pretext for the MMO. You see my vision? I want that so bad. The day they do that, I fear you're never going to see me again. Either that or you're never going to see me stream another game again. It'll just be that forever. I'll be a Zelda MMO content creator. Alright, that's Romani over there, right? Yeah, that's my dream. I fear speaking it out loud makes it less and less likely. But I'm at peace with that. I realistically, I don't think that day will come. But it would be so cool. Even aside from an MMO, I would love a game that is set in Hyrule, but you don't play as any of the predetermined characters like Link or Zelda. I would love a Zelda game in Hyrule where you have a character creator and you play as like a Hylian or a Goron or anything like that. That would be really, really cool. Because, you know, I love Link, I love Zelda, I love their role and everything, and I love the branching timeline. However, I also just love the world. I think the world and like the design of everything and the recurring locations like Death Mountain and Gerudo Desert, those are what I love the most. Just a random guy in the world. That's exactly what I want. I want to see Kaelix Debonair as a Hylian, and I want him to pick up a sword and have a little mini misadventure. Maybe not on the same scale as anything Link accomplishes. Or maybe it could be like, I never played it, but you know that one Sonic game where you play as your own insert character, but you play alongside the main cast? It could be like that. I could be besties with Link. Yeah, that's my dream. That's my dream. That is my ideal Zelda game, is one where you can create your own character. Because my favorite things in video games, I love cute design and like BGM, OST. I love swords, and I love character design and creation. So a Zelda game with all of those, that's my weakness. That's my ultimate weakness. That's what it would take to kill Kaelix Debonair. Oomphy Sonic, yeah. my oomph Link. Yeah, just hanging out with my oomph Link in Hyrule. Could you imagine? Working on homework. Good luck with your homework. Don't let me distract you. I say this sometimes. I think streams are a great distraction. I think they can be good work BGM. I actually like a lot of the streams that I personally watch. It says BGM while I work. Do not let me distract you too much. You got to focus on your studies, all right? All right, what's this? What's this nonsense? What is your problem? You want some? Oh, wait, he still got a head. So head? Okay. I'm not even going to show you the dignity of getting stricken down with a weapon. You get bombs. It's bombs for you. Now you, I can spare a weapon. We're going to save our little Linal sword. That's going to smash pretty fast, as strong as it is. Let's do the sickle. Those are very replenishable. Very... Oh, it's close. Is there anything that would be not as good to have? I think the spears are very pretty. I don't personally like to use them very much. I do love to use them in Tears of the Kingdom, though. What I do in Tears of the Kingdom is I, Wait, is the spear stronger? Okay, I'll keep the spear after all, because it's durable and it's the same. Alright. Yeah, in Tears of the Kingdom, I like to use a spear and then fuse like a material that will make it good against rocks, like mining. And then I'll use that for my mining, because it's a lot faster than swinging around like a claymore or something like that. Is there something to shoot around here? Where's the rest of you? I'm not seeing it. Where is he hiding? Maybe... Does the pinwheel, does the direction it's facing have anything to do with the actual puzzle? Like, should I be looking this way? I got no clue. But I assume it's one of these, right? Do you remember how to use these? Can you share? Can you give me a little backseating as a treat? I don't know where this guy is. Because usually if it's just one like this... Wait! I see it! Okay, I found it. I was gonna say, usually if it's something like this, it's these. Okay, there's one. Let's go! I just could not find it. Yeah, usually if it's one like that, and if standing on it does nothing, that means there's something to shoot nearby. Yep, yep. Alright. Let me pick these up. In this economy, we cannot be wasting arrows like this. Are there any other ones? Okay, guess not. Alright, where's my haunts? There you are. Such a nice horse. Coming when called. So good. I love Romani. She was trained up so fast. I feel like it usually takes longer. In this economy? Yeah, right? How dare you expect me to just leave arrows behind like that? Sometimes when it's really scarce, I'll go to a camp like this, and I'll crush all the sleeping guys, and then I'll just stand next to the guy that's up on the tower, and I'll stand just out of his reach to collect his arrows. Oh wait, that is not how you steer. All right, baby steps, please. We're gonna cross this bridge. She's a good haunch. You plan on getting the big horse and Zelda's white horse too? I want to get all of them. And I want to, when I can find it, I can't find my Smash Bros. Link amiibo, but when I find that, I want to get Epona as well. Like the cannon horse, the red one with the white mane. I want to have all of them. I want to have all the special horses. And then I want to get like a, I want to try to catch a strat horse as well that's just really fast. And just, you know, experiment with that for a bit so we can have a horse that's really good for getting from A to B. Because, you know, the stats on these horses is totally random. I think their pattern on their butt and also their fur color and stuff like that has a role in determining this stuff, but oh, okay, I remember this stable. But yeah, I'd like to experiment with catching a bunch of them and someday have one that is like a racehorse, you know what I mean? This may be too wide a gap for me to cross. I probably should have just gone from the other side of the bridge. Oopsie. All right, here, we'll see if we can get over there. We'll follow the current, and if we can't, we'll just we'll drown and we'll take Romani back to the bridge. What do debonhairs sound like? Oh, are you talking about like how Frio and his Doremin have a canon Pokemon sound? Like mean 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 dore 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 mean mean mean. When I think about that, I don't know if you'll take offense to this or not. When I read some of the silly things you say to me, I kind of envision you as just I envision you as a little like a little monkey mascot, right? But I don't imagine like a Pokemon cry or anything like that. I imagine you just speak in a very like a bright cartoonish voice. You're just like, we make monkey noises. Yes, we made it. Are we just monkey noises? Like that's how you sound to me. Like just, that's how you sound to me when I'm reading and responding to you. just a little creature, you know what I mean? Okay. Oh wait, we don't have to be naked anymore. Let's collect this shrine while we're here as well. Yeah.
Dang, alright. Grab the knight. Yeah, that's cute actually. Wait, I like that. I know well.
Like that's how you sound to me. Yeah, I think it's cute too. I think it's cute too. Either that or just like a regular human person, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know, I love having a fan mascot and I love thinking of you as the mascot, but I also, you know, we're just a bunch of people. We're just a bunch of people hanging out here. We're just a bunch of sapiens. Whether we are like human sapiens or monkey sapiens is up for debate. Oh, I love these guys. I love these freaks. These big, weird metal boxes. Because you can move them around freely and you can climb up them. That's so cool. I have to go to work. I love that TikTok. Or he's a caveman and he has a little hat and he kind of pantomimes that he is a caveman who's about to pretend to be a normal guy. He's like, I have to go to work. I have to go to work. I think one of my favorite iterations of that meme is the one where it's like Splatoon noises. It's like, and then it's like the salmon run, like dum 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 when he puts on the hat. Because you know in Splatoons 2 and 3, salmon run is like working a part-time job. You're canonically, you know, you're baito. You're baito for Grisco. Aru baito. I really like that one. Okay. Oh. Mama na ma da ba da ba. Well, we've got something else to work with, but here's the question: how are we gonna? Oh, whoops. Well. All right. Here's what I think. I think if we just bring this over here and then do it close enough for the incline, but not super close, we can just climb up. Actually, maybe even closer, since these do have the little ridges for our grippers, our hands. Wait, are grippers feet or hands? I can't remember. Grippers are feet. Ugh. I hate the internet. If this isn't Tears of the Kingdom, I'd have a functioning airplane in minutes. That's so real, though. Oh, whoops. Okay, here. Let's keep track of this. And I think the main appeal of Tears of the Kingdom is the invention, right? A lot of people criticize that. They'll say that it makes the game too easy. But honestly, it's as easy as you personally allow it to be, in my opinion. Sometimes in Tears of the Kingdom there will be shrines and trials and stuff that I could probably clear in like 2 minutes using just... How do I rotate these? How do I don't remember how to do this. Can you rotate these? Wait, is that a Tears of the Kingdom exclusive thing? Do I have to pick it up from here? It's been so long since I've touched Breath of the Wild. Right button? Not right button. Okay, hold on. Let's experiment. I feel like I should be able to do this. Do I have any food that I've cooked, actually? You know what? No, we're gonna have our rock food. And we're gonna have our buttered apple. Maybe it's the other. Maybe it's the other right button. Nope. I don't think you can do it in this game. That's okay. We can just... You know what? The more I do it, the more I remember actually just walking up to it and picking it up from the right angle. Okay, I think that's good, right? Directional arrows. That's what I thought, but no, it didn't seem to work. That's how you can make it... You can use the directional arrows, but you use those to move it closer and further away. What were we talking about before I got derailed by the puzzle? There was a thought that I was getting to, and I've completely forgotten it. Yeah, no, I don't think you can rotate these. No combo I'm doing is working. And it's okay. I kind of like it. Beat? No. Fan mascot noises? Something about invention? Oh, yeah! Okay, Tears of the Kingdom. Thank you so much. It's clicking now. So, in Tears of the Kingdom, there are a lot of shrines and trials and puzzles that I could solve in minutes using just like the fan bike, you know, where you combine the platform controller and 2 fans together to make a motorbike that flies through the air. There are so many that you could do in like 2 minutes with that. But I still choose not to. I choose to try to think of the solution in a slightly different way. Sometimes even a different than intended way. That's what I like about Tears of the Kingdom. It's so sandbox, it's unreal. Like, there are dungeons, there are puzzles that can be solved. Honestly, maybe even in an infinite combination of ways. Because there are so many different items and they work together in such complicated ways. Oh, it's you! What are you doing here? What's your business? What are you doing here, Buster?
Shalaka!
So we meet again. I want to go home to Korok Forest, but I've lost my way.
According to the folks at this table, this area is Central Hyrule. Shalaka. That means Korok Forest is so much farther north.
Well, since I'm already here, I may as well stay a while and relax. Oh, wait a minute. You know when dogs do that? When they take one long sniff and then they exhale? Like... I know that smell anywhere. It's a Korok seed. You've collected a Korok seed from the forest children, haven't you? If you give me Korok seeds, I'll expand with one of your statues. Which one will I be? Okay, which one should we do? I think we got weapon up to a clean row. We got shield up to a clean row. I guess we maybe should do bow. Yeah, we'll do the bow. Get it up to the same level. Let the expansion begin. I love his little dance so much. It's so cute.
Na 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 na.
Expand a ban. Bow stash. Shakala. All right. Maybe we do another bow. Since that one's for 2. I love this freak.
Let the expansion begin. Yaha! Da-da-da-da.
Oh, I almost wish I wouldn't have done that one so it could be cleaner. But I guess it'll change when I get the ancient arrows anyway. Can I do weapon? Yes! Yes! I love this. I love to win. Okay. That's probably all we can do. I think when he's not in Korok Forest, he caps you to a certain number. Expand a ban. Chakala. Weapon stash. Oh, we can do another one. What would it cost to do shield? Let's go! I thought this would cost more.
Yaha!
Okay, that's probably all we can do.
Da-na-na-na-na.
I need a giant silly tree in real life. Me too. I need all of these things in real life. Cheapest would probably be shield, but that's probably at 2 now. Yeah, no, we can't do anything else. Goodbye. How sad. All right, that's all. Let's see. I think it would be faster if we just get our horse from here. I know, realistically speaking, she's on the other side of this river. However, we can just board her and then take her from here. And that would be so much faster. Need a Korok figure or plushie? I've thought about getting one.
Yeah.
Thought about getting one, but I'm not much of a merch buyer. I'm a merch gifted individual. I'm gifted merchandise. Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful. I need to talk about this because it finally arrived. I talked about Anna Laura. Do you know Anna Laura? Is that a name you recognize? Anna-Laura. Annalaura. Really, really cool watercolor artist. That is my favorite, one of my favorite artists. I don't know if I have a #1 favorite, but I love Anna Laura, and I talked about her a bunch to a bunch of my friends. I adore her like monkey art. Yeah, she draws a bunch of like small animals in human situations, and it's all about like she draws comics where the whole moral is like self-love and self-worth and stuff. I adore her stuff. I adore her stuff so much. And she recently got a plush. She got a plush toy made of one of her recurring characters who's called Warrior Bunny. And her Warrior Bunny mascot character is like how do I describe him? He's an adventurer. He's got a sword. His eye is scarred. He's got a little scar on his eye. He like he's an adventurer. He's a seasoned veteran explorer, you know what I mean? And for his adventures, it's all usually to save himself. Like he does all these things and he's got this evil voice that's following him like, you should give up, and like it's not worth it. And other people will do this so much better than you. And he's constantly reassuring himself and fighting against the evil voice, being like, somebody has to try, and like, my best effort is good enough, and stuff like that. It's just really sweet. Get his ass, Romani! Sorry, that was a bad word. I just felt really good about that. But yeah, no, it's a really, really sweet comic. And he got a plush toy. He got a plush toy made. And at the end of his adventure, I forgot to mention this part. At the end of his adventure, it's always to save himself. Like he finds his own reflection, and it's all about the journey there. And my friend, my bestie, he ordered me the plushie, and I'm so happy about that. And it finally arrived, and I have it now. And he's on my little shelf next to my delicious and dungeon-footed mushroom creature. You've sworn a few times already? Yeah, I have. I've mentioned before, I will not just be a swearless individual. I will swear on occasion. Usually when I'm either really excited or really tested by something. I said the F word. I usually never say that one, even if I'm tested. I said the F word during the D&D collab because I was just that exasperated. I was that flabbergasted by Gordon Belfoot. Short count 3? I actually don't know. I don't know. I don't always realize in the moment because it's usually in a moment of exasperation. It also depends on if you count quotes, because sometimes I'll just willingly curse if I'm quoting somebody else, or if I'm singing a song that has swear words in it. Yeah, no, I'm not a totally pure individual or anything like that. I will swear on occasion. Especially if it's a more tame swear. Yeah, the F word kind of surprised me. I did not mean for that one to come out. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Hey, what do you think you're doing? You must not harm the flowers. I planted flowers around the shrine. Please be careful where you step. You don't want to hurt them, do you? Girl, this is just a bunch of flowers. You must not hurt the flowers! They are screaming out in pain! I cuss a little too. You sure? It feels so weird. I was so tempted in that moment to just call you little bro, but I don't think that... I don't think there's anything about that that's accurate. Oh, gosh. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you curse. Yeah, I saw Ren Senpai's 3D debut. I saw that. You're bad. You're bad, Shu Senpai. You're crazy for that. Oh, you guys did so good though. And that arrange that you guys use. Oh, delicious. Hontoni oishi data. How many times do I have to say it? Please treat the flowers with care. They're living things, you know. Will she pipe down? I'm just trying to get to this funny shrine. So many times. I've lost count of how many times I've told you. It's just so many now. How do you not understand? Why don't you get it? No! I worked day after day after day to plant those flowers. Then you come and hurt them over and over. I will make you understand. The flowers rage! Whoa! What'd she do to me? Oh, she's strong. She got me down to 1 heart. Sorry about that, Magda. Please take some time to really admire the flowers. I worked so hard to plant them. All right. I guess it's the least I can do after all that. I didn't realize it was that serious. Okay, we'll get us up to 8. All right, let's avoid the flowers. Shouldn't be too hard. It's like a maze, but you can actually see where the barrier is. I think these guys are like 1 or 2 hit, right? Yeah, okay. You can just waste the torch. I kind of want to claim that pitchfork, but I'd have to step on the flowers to get it. Actually, it's bombs for you. Haha! Okay. I think it'll be around this way, and then we'll be at the front. Let's go! Oh, that's wicked of her to put it right in the center. Okay. Okay. Dicta. Does the bomb not hurt the flowers? I wonder. We should go out of our way to bomb them when we step out. That's what we'll do. I'm not sure if she's gonna kick me out of the shrine if I do it now. So we'll solve the shrine first, and then we'll then we'll just bomb as many flowers as we can. Yeah, she's the real boss. We need to get her in the castle. I think she could take down Calamity Ganon. What do you say? Okay. Drifting. Is this one where... I think if I do Cryonis, it'll just stay where it is. That doesn't drift. Oh, okay. All right, can you pick up the pace a little bit, please? So what have I missed in your world? What have you been up to lately? It's been a minute since we caught up, like I mentioned. Okay, hold on. Maybe... Rewind is in Tears of the Kingdom. Stasis is in this game. Okay, I can stop them like that. That's what I'll do. Just missing you a whole lot. Oh, you miss me? Wait, I wonder if I could straight up just swim to it. That might be the strat. That's so much faster. Studying German. Oh, I see. I've always been curious about German. Deutsch. I don't speak any of that. Oh, this one's dangerous. There's some bombs over there. Those guys will get me. Yeah, I've always been curious about German. The only languages I've studied are Japanese, Spanish, and Esperanto, beyond the fundamentals. And even then, even with them, I've only really done the fundamentals. When I say beyond, it's more like beyond just how to say hello, thank you, good night, I love you. Just that, right? that's like all I know in most languages. Esperanto. Ĝi estas tre facila lingvo, Esperanton. Yo... No. I almost spoke Spanish there, because Esperanto is a conlang made by... what is his name? I think they just call him Dr. Esperanto, even. But he wanted a conlang that had cognates across most European languages. But it's most similar to Spanish. It's most similar to Spanish. But it's a really easy language to learn in that, like, all the rules are constant. There's no, since it's a conlang, you know, it wasn't developed naturally. It was invented by one guy. Yeah. Me. Yeah, it's not yo, it's me in Esperanto. Mi, is it necesitas? Skribadon. Paroladon. Etc. I need to practice speaking and oh whoops. I guess this might get us right out to the entrance, right? Is it the one they call a universal language? Yes, but it's not really a universal language is the flaw. I guess oh okay, I guess we can attempt to bomb it, but it won't actually do anything. Yeah, it's not a true universal language. It's mostly just cognates for European languages. So if you speak like French, German, Polish, etc., you'll find words that are familiar to you, and you'll find a grammar structure that is familiar to you. But for example, Esperanto would not be a universal or easy language for someone that speaks Japanese as their first language, or like honestly, most East Asian languages would not be as compatible with it. That's where it becomes flawed, and I think that's one of the reasons it failed to catch on. But if you're ever interested in learning a language, but purely for the purpose of learning a language, Esperanto can be a really fun and easy first one to pick up. It's kind of like, it's not a practical language. Ĝi ne estas praktika lingvo. Ne estas ne praktika lingvo. Pero kaj amuze, but it's fun. It's not a practical language because not many people speak it. However, if you do master it, there is actually a pretty rich culture of Esperantists. That's what you call yourself if you speak the language fluently. Where if you travel the world and you meet an Esperantist or you connect with an Esperantist over the internet, there's a really common culture of like sharing housing with another Esperantist, like hosting them when they travel, especially across Europe. So it can be fulfilling in that way, but otherwise it's not a very useful language to learn. There's no such thing as a... Well, actually, there could be a such thing as a native speaker in one scenario. I think the only instance of a... Oh, I thought he might have been writing something smaller than a horse. The only instance of a native Esperantist would be if two people met and they speak two different languages. Sorry about that, horsey. They speak two different languages. Say they speak French and Spanish, but neither of them speaks both languages, and their common language is Esperanto. So around the house, they speak Esperanto, right? The scenario where they have a child, that child is taught the local native language. Say they live in France, so the child is taught French, but they also learn Esperanto because that's the language their parents speak to each other. That would be the only scenario for a native speaking Esperantist. And something really interesting about that is that native Esperantists pronounce it a little bit differently than people that learn Esperanto. Because I think the standard accepted pronunciation, the phonemic inventory, is just to default to Italian phonetics. And stress the second to last syllable in every word, so that it's constant instead it's easy. But it's just very interesting. It's very interesting to get into. Yeah, to kind of double back. Sorry about that. Gotta loop it back around to what I started with. If you're interested in learning a language specifically just for the academic process of learning a language, I think that Esperanto is a really effective language for learning how to learn a language. Does that make sense? Like it's very easy in the sense that the words are simple, the structure of like conjugation is consistent, and it's just basic enough that you can focus specifically and exclusively on like learning that structure. And if you develop any learning strategies with Esperanto, you can then carry those over to what I would consider to be an actually practical language to pick up. The nerd emoji, you just don't like me, do you? You hate me so bad. I am despised, I am detested. Yeah, I genuinely recommend it if you're ever curious about learning a language but are very intimidated by learning a proper developed language. But again, it is not a practical language. You will not find much practical use for it in the world. We do it with love. Oh no, I'm just being silly. I'm just being silly. Don't you know that's my cliche. That's my modus operandi. I will demand affirmation by insisting the opposite. I'll be like, you hate me, and then secretly in my mind, I know it. I'm gonna get like, I don't hate you. That's my evil trait. Learning English by watching this. Oh, I'm rooting for you. English can be a really difficult language if it isn't your first, but I think it's one of the most useful languages, for better or worse. I think it's one of the like most compulsory around the world. And on the internet, I think it's the most widely, or one of the most widely spoken, like one of the top 3. Next to, I think, oh, I forgot that they explode electricity when you do that. Alongside Spanish and Chinese. I think Spanish, Chinese, and English are the 3 big ones that are useful to learn. I think there's a ton of Chinese speakers around the world. Though with Chinese, the challenge is that the dialects can be really, really different. With Spanish, there are so many Spanish-speaking countries. And then with English, it's just there are so many English-speaking countries. It's just become almost the... I don't know that I like that it's becoming the default, but it is cool for me since I'm like English first language. I don't have to put in as much work. Okay, is there any like 1 heart that's not worth anything? I'll just have another chill shroom. We won't need those for a while. They said knowing Japanese makes Chinese easier to learn. Specifically if you study your kanji. But only in certain ways, I think. I don't have insight because I've not mastered either. I've not studied any Chinese, and I only know like baby basics of Japanese. Like I can barely speak at the level of a toddler. But the thing with Japanese and Chinese is that with Japanese, a lot of the kanji are borrowed. And so while they'll be pronounced entirely differently, they'll usually have either the same meaning or a really similar meaning to the same kanji in Chinese. So if you study kanji in Japanese, it can make it a little bit easier to acquire it in Japanese. And I think vice versa as well. Like if you already know Japanese, or not Japanese, if you already know Chinese, that can make studying kanji in Japanese a bit easier. And like associating meanings and understanding what makes a kanji mean what it means and what each stroke feature is and how to write it as well. But I think it ends there. I think the grammar is different, and you know, there's nothing close to like hiragana or anything like that in Chinese, and the pronunciation is also entirely different. But I think the main challenge of mastering Japanese is probably honestly the kanji. That's what you have to devote years of study to speak it decently, or to comprehend it with confidence. So I do think that would be a really good edge. Korean alphabet is easy to learn, but I don't understand what I'm reading. That's what I really want to pick up. I've heard that a lot because I think the Korean alphabet, Korean is not a conlang. To reiterate that, like Esperanto is a conlang, constructed language, in that it was invented by one person. Korean is in fact a developed language, but I think the writing system was invented by one guy. And I think, I don't remember if this is fact, so correct me if I'm lying to you right now, but I'm pretty sure that Korean is one of the only developed languages in the world that has like a credited author. I think it was a leader in history at some point. And so as a result, Hangul is very consistent. It's like more consistent than other languages, which I think is really, really cool. So I'm very tempted to spend a day or two to learn how to, I want to spend a day or two to learn how to read it and pronounce it. so that I don't need Romanized Korean. But of course, that would not get me anywhere towards like, you know, like actually understanding it. I'd love to be able to sing in it though. That's something I tried to learn last year. Yeah, I had a little stint of vocal training with a coach, and that was one of the things that she taught me. I was very thankful for that. Okay, I think maybe if I... Here's my theory. This might not be facts, but my theory is if I take this and then I fill it up with the little rocks that are not actually rocks, it'll be heavy. Oh wait, oh, so this in itself is heavy. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do instead. We're gonna pick up one of these little rocks that are not actually rocks, and we're gonna put it on top of the little grate. Oh, whoops. So it should be right and then left rather than vice versa. And then we're gonna put the bowl. We're gonna put the bowl back on the lever. And I think that should open it up. Learning to read Hangul could be done in like an hour, but whether you can comprehend what you're reading is another thing. Yeah. Yeah, it would not get me anywhere near understanding what I'm reading. But being able to read it in the first place would mean that I could sing a lot more songs. And I'd love to like learn to pronounce it as well. That's my edge, and I think that's what makes it seem like I'm more fluent in languages than I actually am. Is that I really love learning the phonemic inventory. I love learning how to pronounce a language and like what mouth parts are used in pronouncing certain sounds. So I prioritize pronunciation over comprehension. And I think that makes it sound like I know more than someone who's actually studied it when I don't actually. That's where I'm like a fraud. That's my scamming arc, my scamming feature. I think I've particularly misled people with Japanese in that I have, I think, slightly better pronunciation than you would expect of someone who like has not mastered it. But I did not have the skills to speak fluidly. Pera pera janai desu. I cannot speak fluently. And even then my pronunciation is not great. It's just decent, I think. I think the expectation value is just a lot lower, and that's what I've got going for me. That is a part of learning too. I think pronunciation is a very valuable thing to practice. So it's not that I'm like not proud of it or anything. It's more like I sometimes feel a little bad that people are like misled. It's not intentional. 日本語だ。そう、日本語だ。俺はまだ勉強中です。日本語を勉強中ですから頑張ります。もっと勉強しなきゃね。日本語上手。上手じゃないよ。上手じゃないですけど、優しい言葉をありがとう。Thank you for the sweet words. 勉強します。練習します。I need to study and to practice more. To my great benefit, I'm so thankful for this. I have a lot of new friends that are super fluent and epic that I can rely on, that will help me learn. One of my challenges with every language I've studied in the... Sorry, I kind of locked in there for a second. One of my challenges with most of the languages that I've studied or practiced is that I can do the academic part, but I never have anybody there to speak with. So I'm very thankful that for both Japanese and Spanish now, I have people in my life that speak it fluently, in some cases as their first language. So that means I can get some really valuable feedback and practice. Because I think more than studying it, speaking it with others is everything. Being forced into a situation where you have to come up with a way to articulate your ideas. How much did that get us? Oh, wow. Okay. Fish skewer. Let's also get a bow out. We'll do soldier's bow. Because these guys have a weak spot in their eye. Oh, I don't have that many arrows. Okay, I'm gonna need him to stay still. Woo! Na 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 na. Okay. Come on. Please. Yes! Oh, so fast. Okay. Feels good. Na 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 na. This guy's got his toenails everywhere. Ew! That is gross. Do you see the power of the little sword, though? Do you remember when we fought a stone talus on the plateau, on the Great Plateau, and it took us like 30 to 40 minutes to do that with what we had, our regular weapons? This guy took 2 seconds. Oh, we got a traveler's sword. I think the little kid freak in Hateno village is obsessed with weapons and really wants to see this. This is one of my favorites, by the way. I love the way this looks. If I had a sword with a hilt, I would want it to look like this. I would want like a worn leather thing that's attached with little leather straps. And just a very simple look. I love that. And now we're balling and weaponed and armored. All right, where's my haunts? She should be over here, right? I just stopped. Yeah, right near the bridge. Hopper. Grasshopper. Swords are pretty. I wouldn't be able to use it to save its duration. That is how I am with so many weapons in these games. Half the time, I will actually... You know what? Here, I'll demonstrate it. I'll do it right now. I will keep a weapon equipped purely for the aesthetic, but then when I actually enter battle, I'll change to another weapon. Why don't you keep a weapon equipped? Just because I like the way that Link's back looks when it doesn't have a shield and a big bow on it. But I do often like to have a sword on his back. I like to just have a sword there. You're a... I'm a what?
Hi. Hey, come here.
Whoa. Yeah, I just like to see a character from behind that does not have a big stack of everything.
Oh my, oh wow, oh whoa.
Oh, whoa. What's this?
It's a Hylian, a real Hylian. I mean, you are a Hylian, right?
Yes, I'm a Hylian.
I knew it. I so knew it. Well, what are you waiting for? Go see Prince Sidon.
Where's she pointing?
He's waiting at Inogo Bridge, which is upstream of Zora River. Please, listen to what dear Prince Sidon has to say.
All right, guess we're going to the Zoras first.
I know it's sudden, but you'll understand everything once you get there. Trust me, you'll see.
You'll see. Okay. I'm gonna finish off my tea really quick. I say finish off, but I've actually got an entirely full cup right now. I just got so immersed in catching up with you at the start of the stream that I forgot to drink any of it. Oopsie. Who is Sidon and why is everybody so whipped? Strap in, friend. You're in for something. Oh, yeah, no, I love Sidon. He's so cool. I wish his name was pronounced Sidon instead. That's what I thought it was when I played it for the first time. But in the DLC, they have voice-acted cutscenes where his name is pronounced as Sidon. Sidon. But I thought it was Sidon, like Poseidon. You know, the god that commands over the ocean or whatever? That's what I thought. Shame on me. Okay, let's get this tower first. Because I remember getting to Zora's domain first, like the very first time, is really tedious and difficult. It requires a lot of, what are these freaks doing here? You think I can just skip them? But yeah, it requires a lot of strategy because it's raining and you're surrounded by enemies who fight with electricity. And so you're put in a lot of positions where you just get blasted to nothing. So being able to... Drew my sword for nothing. That's so goofy. Yeah, so having your having your map out to strategize and plan where you're gonna go is very helpful. So I think I'll do that for this area. Ooh, rushroom. We should try to make a habit of collecting and not using rushrooms because there's a rushroom addict near Gerudo Desert who will pay you fat cash for rushrooms. He loves the stuff. He's addicted. Okay. Since you insist, I'll get you two. We'll do... Honestly, why not use the claymore? Oh, that's embarrassing. After talking all that talk. Okay. Let's go up. Wait.
Nom 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 nom. Mung 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 mung. Gotsama deshita. Gotsama deshita. Deshita.
You know that specific niche of voice acted anime character where they say everything in that gradual rise and fall and they end everything with breath? Like, I think Rui from Puroseka does this. What's his name? Is it Enmu? What's his name? The guy from the Mugen Train arc of Kimetsu no Yaiba. What's his name? I can't remember his name. The guy with the guy from the lower ranks. Rui. Oh wait. He's the one from Puroseka. Enmu. Okay, I was right the first time. Okay. Oh, that feels so good. I'm never confident about character names from something that I haven't seen in the last year. Yeah, where it's very, very like, yeah, almost moany, right? Very like, Irasaimase. Like, just very, very like, it's if it was a rise and fall, it's a curvy line. Does that make sense? Like with a lot of characters and seiyus, especially in Japanese, you can draw the graph of their tone lifting and falling almost like a heartbeat. Like it goes up, down, sometimes in more straight lines. With these characters, it's like, it's a straight curve. It's not a straight curve. It's a curved, like, arc. It's a curved arc. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Yeah, intonation. Yeah, the intonation is just very, it's very smooth and curved, and then they put a lot of breath into it as well. Yeah, straight as a circle, I guess. When I said straight, what I meant by that, because I realized a curve is the opposite of straight. When I said straight, I meant like there's no jagged edges or anything like that. It's a singular line with no bumps. That's the idea. Yeah, Hiyori does this too. Hiyori desu kara ne. Or a really fun twist on that is what is his name? God, I'm blanking on the name for him. The rich guy who owns the house in ReZero. Because he has a twist on it. He'll have that for most of the sentence, but then on the very last syllable, he does almost like a sing-song like, ii desu kara ne. You know what I mean? What is his name? Roswell, thank you so much. Thank you. Rodzivaru, I think is how it's pronounced in JP. I cannot remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, pompous characters. I love that. I love that. Like almost overconfident, but also they seem a little disconnected from reality as well. Very like daydreamy, spacey. I love that. I love that. Ii koi desu ne. Tell us more about what you know about OnStars. Oh, gladly, I guess. I feel almost like a fraud though, because like I've mentioned, I haven't followed it in a long time. I've been disconnected for like a year or two. I don't know anything about the new boys. I don't know anything about, I don't even know anything about the OnStars 2 main story because I never read it. Because I used to read outside of the game like translations because there used to not be an English version of the game. And when they removed that, I found it a lot harder to keep up with it reading through the game. I'd like to sometime though. I'm curious as to like what's happened because I'm still very attached to most of the characters. Excuse me, yes you. I am Groove of the Zora. Do you like to move it? Do you like to groove it? It is apparent that you are a traveler, but may I ask what brought you here?
I could ask the same of you.
How very astute of you. An excellent query indeed. I, by order of Prince Sidon of Zora's domain, am searching for a Hylian, or I was. But then I fell asleep. I awoke to a loud noise and awful quaking, and now here I am. I'd love to get down and be on my way, but I'm simply too high up. I need to figure something out. Prince Sidon is down at the bridge below, but for some reason I cannot seem to catch his attention. But you are a Hylian, yes? Well, then my luck is improving. Prince Sidon, I found one. I found a Hylian. This guy's goofy. Prince Sidon doesn't seem to notice my struggle. Perhaps I should swallow my fear and jump to the river below. Then I could return to him. He must be worried sick. It is scary to jump from this kind of height, even into water. No, nope, can't do it. I'm too high up. I'll likely meet the gods of the ever after before I ever see Prince Sidon again. Mr. Hylian, I must apologize. It will be some time before I can get back to Prince Sidon. Please, you must leave me here and go on ahead. I kind of like Groove. Alright, well, might as well. I guess we can leave Epona behind from now on. I don't think we'll need her where we're going. Otherwise, she'll be in danger. I think I left her in a decent enough spot to just rest, right? Yeah, when it comes to OnStars, I followed it from the first game for a while, and then partway into the new game. Oh, wait. I think I may be entering on the wrong side of this bridge. Yeah, I was obsessed with Dusetai and Rabbits, and Eve had my favorite vocals. Undead had my favorite songs. I was attached to the whole cast, honestly. I like something about all of them.
Say hey there, young one.
Young one! Up top! Above you!
Above you!
Is it embarrassing that I remember that? Ah, I love his music so much.
Pardon the entrance, but you're a Hylian, aren't you? I was hoping perhaps you'd have a moment to talk.
Ah. Isn't he handsome? Isn't he cool? I think it's so funny that so many people are so attracted to him. Because take a moment to really appreciate this man's anatomy, alright? Consider the ratio of leg to torso. Isn't that so goofy? That is the goofiest thing in the world. Like, imagine what it would be like for him to run. Could you imagine that? You know that, what is that called? There's a term for this in fitness, that, like, taper. There's a term. What kind of taper? Triangle taper? Where you want to be shaped like an upside-down triangle? He's got that in the most extreme way ever. He's perfect the way he is. No, I agree. I'm obsessed with this man. I love him. I think Zelda needs to step back for a minute. Or, I don't know, Link has two hands. Aha! A Hylian! Yes, I knew it. Oh, pardon me. I am Sidon, the Zora Prince. And what is your name? Go on, please tell me.
I'm Link.
Link. Your name is Link? What a fantastic name! Though I cannot shake the feeling that I've heard it somewhere before. Well, in any case, it is a strong name. To be honest, I've been watching you. He's been watching me? Where's he been this whole time? I've seen the way you work. I can tell by how you carry yourself that you are no ordinary person. Link, you must be a strong warrior among the Hylians, correct? Not particularly. No, do not be so humble. I can't decide how thick his accent should be based on the one clip of voice acting we got of him, right? I'm not sure. I'm not very good at British, though. Either way. I can tell just by looking at you. I am a Zora Prince, after all. I have an eye for talent that is unparalleled. Yes, exquisite! I have been searching for someone like you for a long while. A man like you, Link, who carries himself with power. You've been looking for a man like me, huh? Get a load of this guy. Right now, Zora's domain is in grave danger because of the massive rainfall coming from Divine Beast Varuta. Please, promise you will help us. We need your strength, warrior. Won't you come to Zora's domain with me?
I'll think on it.
Think on it. Was that sufficient time to think?
Yeah, I made up my mind in those 3 seconds of silence.
Was that sufficient time to think? Surely. So let's get to work.
Yeah, I think I'll make him a little bit more posh because he's meant to be like an aristocratic leader, right? He's an heir to the throne. And Mifa has a thick British accent as well. Most of the characters in this game, like the Hylians and the Zoras especially, are like British adjacent, I think.
Thank you, Link. You are indeed the man I thought you were. Now, Zora's domain will be saved for certain. No time to waste. Hurry up and head over. Because of the rain, the cliffs are too wet to climb. To reach the domain, you will need to go straight along this path. As a Hylian, I know you are unable to swim up the river. As such, the path to the domain may be a bit treacherous. You likely have a tough fight in store. There are monsters up ahead that attack with electricity.
Don't give up. I believe in you. Oh, I love when he does his little smile with the little sparkle. Ah, I love Sidon. He's so silly. He's one of my favorite cliches of like really dumb, optimistic man. I love that. I love that vibe so much. Like man who believes in you and has maybe 3 brain cells to his name.
Oh, that's right. I have something that I would like to give to you.
This is just a small trinket to show that I have faith in you. That does not show your faith in me. That shows that you think I need protection. Grants a mid-level resistance to electricity. Useful against enemies with electrical attacks.
It is a drink that will increase your resistance to electricity. I'm not sure why, but its effects do not seem to work for Zora. Perhaps because it was made specifically for Hylians? It should work wonders for you, though. I shall go on ahead and make sure there is not anything strange going on where you're headed. I'm counting on you.
Full score! Whoa, I hold up a page with 10 written on it. That's pretty cool. Okay. I think we may have some ingredients, actually, that can make more of these. I think, like, for example, if I use electric keys wings, maybe. Though I'm not sure if that's how monster parts work in these elixirs. I think I may need something else. But even if I don't, maybe I have... I don't have the electric fish. I don't think I have the shroom that does it either. Maybe I can't. Do I have what it takes to make an elixir? Do a flip. A bug and a monster part. Okay, and the bug is the one that determines the effect, right? A bug or like a lizard. I don't think I have any of the electric benefit. That's sneak. That's stamina. That's attack. Stamina. Warmth. Speed. Speed. Yeah, I don't think I have what I need. I don't have any electro shrooms. I guess I can't, so we might as well just press on with the gift that Sidon gave us. Just use this one. I'd normally like to prepare a bit more, but you find them up ahead? Ooh, maybe. Problem is, if we do that, if we find it on the path, that will mean that we'll have to, like, leave and then come back, which would be really tedious because you can't cook in these areas. Unless there's, like, a sheltered pot that I've forgotten about. Ponytail Kaelix, so cute. I'd kind of like to wear my hair in a ponytail sometime. I think it can be a very, very effective way to... Wait, which way am I going? I'm going this way first. We're gonna get that shrine. But I think it can be a very effective way to keep your hair out of your face. You know what I mean? Just don't bring any metal out. Oh. I'll keep it on until I start seeing sparks. Do you think I can get up there when it's raining? Oh, whoops. Let's see if we can avoid this guy in the process, because I don't want to deal with him. I think it's so cool that they camouflage like chameleons, right? Vertical surfaces become slick with water when it rains, making them more difficult to climb.
Yeah, I knew all that. My strat is to just try to run up it like a goat, like this. Do you see my vision? I love these things! I need more of these. I want 1 billion of these. Let's remember this shrine specifically and come back to it sometime for more. How long has your hair been the longest? Or are you asking like when my hair was the longest it ever got? I think I kind of neglected to cut it throughout most of high school. So I think around my junior year of high school, my hair was down to the upper area of my back, like past my shoulders, but not by too much. And I find that when it reaches that length, when I let it get that long, it's a little bit wavier than it otherwise is. Because I feel like my hair is not too wavy. It's a little straight. But when it's longer, I start getting some curls towards the end, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, then I cut it my senior year, and I've been keeping it around this length for the last few years, I think. Yeah. Is this a test of strength? Yeah, the longest it ever gotten was just a little past my shoulders. When I was a kid, I always kept it really short. I cut it kind of short out of high school. I think this length is what works for me. This is what I feel the most confident with, you know? All right, we'll do... We should probably have a shield, so... Oh, we'll do a guardian sword. And we'll do Shield of the Mind's Eye, I guess. Yeah, I gotta rememorize what all these slashes are, because they warn you about their slashes. Ooh! Okay, wait, I think if I stand over here, I'll hit the pillar. Yeah! Honestly, maybe we should just be swinging crazy style with him. I know what to do about this. Watch this. Oh! This is for you. Oops. Oopsie. Okay. We could just swing him down to nothing. Okay. Yatta! Feels good. You know, I'm curious about styling my hair differently in the future, so I hope you won't mind any drastic changes in the future. I'm the type that likes to experiment with fashion. I like to learn new things, and I like to try new things out. So there will come a day in the future, the uncertain future, no idea when, that I may look a little different than you recognize, than you remember. Oh, isn't this cool? I love these weapons. They're so fantasy. They're almost like non-compliant with the fantasy, right? They feel more technology, sci-fi. Fantasy non-compliant. But it's compliant with this fantasy because it's like ancient technology, right? Saw a tweet that said Kaelix Debonair is the kind of guy to say this one's for you and miss. I haven't seen that one, but I fear I've been soul read. That is me. That's exactly me. You might understand my character a little bit. All right, let me prove that during the Uno collab. I still think of when I timed that monologue so poorly. I didn't think about how cool it would be to say a monologue like that and then drop down a +4. So it was so goofy to be like, this one is for Doremin, Debonair, Zerpents, and Seinyans everywhere. I'm playing for everyone, and then I just play a 1, and I've still got 4 cards left. I'm just a little silly. I don't know. Just a bit of a clown sometimes, I fear. I'm not very good at being cool. Hope you don't mind that. Let me adjust my monitor a little bit. Okay. Being a clown is cool nowadays. I think so too. I think there's nothing better than humor. I think if you can do everything in good humor, you'll live a happy life. I hope my Hans is safe over there. All right, let's start the path to Zora's domain. I think we could do this in one day. We could do this today. This could be our mission for today, maybe. I kind of want to keep going after that. I don't know. It's been a minute since my last solo stream, so I've missed hanging out with you. Am I a boy failure? Is that what that's called? I've heard girl fail. I've heard girl fail. Is that the same thing? Just like boy fail? That's embarrassing for this guy. Ooh, 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 ooh. Get bombed. Ooh. Okay, that's a little embarrassing for the other guy, for Kaelix. Oopsie. Oh wait, he got crushed by the Octorok. Okay, do these guys suck? Are you gonna suck at me? Are you gonna do that, please? Can you start sucking in some air for me? All right, you asked for it. Let's go! Hey yo, can you behave, please? Can you be normal? I said a perfectly normal thing just now, and you're acting like I just dropped a bomb. You're just like Zeal. You make me sick. Perverts all around the world. I think the bombs are the funniest item in this entire game. I did technically just drop multiple bombs in the video game. It's like the crowning comment is the wording. I think you should accept my spontaneity and my whimsy. Whoa! Can we get this guy? Are we gonna be fast enough? I want meat. Okay, this instead. Ah! Ah, that blows. Okay. You know what? That's fine. Let's head back up. Why is Zeal catching strays? You saw him. You saw the collab, didn't you? I was gonna say go back and watch it, but honestly, maybe spare yourself the trouble. No, it was a good time. I'm just being silly. I'm just playing. I love that guy. I hope it's never unclear that I unconditionally love every single one of my wave mates. My co-workers here at the live house by the beat. I think with Zeal especially... You look so silly up there. I think with Zeal especially, I'm at that point with him where our banter is almost play mean, which I find that I don't actually get into with others very often because I kind of struggle to know when people are actually mean. And I likewise find that people struggle to know when I'm actually being mean versus just telling a funny joke. So it's kind of rare. I kind of appreciate that. The ring tweet was interesting. I need you to know that I unironically was trying to make beef with him. That was not a proposal. Because if you watch the video that I quote retweeted, he says, quote, I think if you wear a ring on your thumb, you're weird. That's what he said. He said that, and I'm standing in the same room, wearing a ring on my thumb. Like, what's the deal? What's good? These guys are crazy, spitting rocks at me. Can you calm down? Can you be normal? Can you behave?
Hey!
Hey, Link! Sorry for calling out to you from the river. Since I pressured you into coming, I was not sure you would really come through. I am pleased things are going well. Might as well. Ever since this strange occurrence, there have been a lot of monsters around here. Be careful as you proceed. And hurry! All of my fellow Zora are anxiously awaiting your arrival. Let's go! Mama, mama, meow, 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 meow. Something really cool about that theme that will make more sense when we unlock a memory later is that there's another character in this game who's very closely connected to Sidon, who has the same motif, but it's slower and softer. It's more dramatic. This is very optimistic, triumphant, almost victorious sounding, right? But the other character is very like... How do I describe this? It's almost somber sounding. It's like a soft, melancholic piano. Yeah, very melancholy. Oh my god, I'm gonna talk about one of my least favorite things about the English language. Isn't it so lame and uncool that the adjective is melancholy? Like a very melancholy sound. I hate that. I think it should be melancholy as a noun, melancholic exclusively as the adjective. That's what I believe. Yes. Yes, that's exactly how it is. Like I would say, I'm feeling very melancholy today. That's the correct way to say that. Isn't that so stupid? Isn't that the stupidest thing you've ever heard? Maybe we can do this with a fire arrow that we don't have. Maybe if I just do a lot more jumping. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm stuck. Okay. Now how do we get out? Nice! Nice! Okay, that feels good. Yeah, no, the adjective is melancholy. Like, his melancholy frown. The melancholy sound of his voice. It's the same for both the noun and the adjective. I think it should be melancholic and not melancholy as the adjective. I think it should not be acceptable. But it is. Here's another one. This one I mess up a lot. And you will hear me mess it up if I haven't already done it on stream. The word to drink. To drink, right? To have a beverage. To swallow a liquid. Past tense. Or is it imperfect past tense? Is that what that's called? Past imperfect? I don't know the actual grammar term for this. You know when you say something in the past tense but you use had or have, right? Like, I have seen this before. Right? We'll use to see, right? Past tense of see is saw. I saw that. But if you want to use the other one, past perfect, is that what it's called? You would say, I have seen that. All right? For to drink. Past tense is drank. I drank that. However, the past perfect is not I have drinking. It's I have drank. And I hate that. I think it should be have drinking. Because usually, when you use have or had, the word that follows ends with an in or an en specifically. Have drinking. But no, like I've drank that before. That sounds like a hick. That sounds like a hick language. Like I've drank that before. But no, it's wrong. That's the actual way to say it. That's the correct way to say this. Were you an honor student? I don't know if... Was I technically an honor student? I took all advanced classes. And I did college courses in high school. But I don't know if I... Is that honor student? I don't know if we had anything like that at my school. Yeah, no. English makes me mad. I guess I have a firm enough understanding of English that I can just get really annoyed with it about everything it has. I love English. I also really, really hate English. Hey, Link! You're almost halfway to Zora's domain. Halfway already? I feel like we were barely a quarter of the way there. Oh, by the way, there are a few spots up ahead with lots of enemies, but I'm sure you will be fine. I believe in you, Link.
Okay, whatever you say.
Oh, did you see the little wave? That was so cute. College classes in high school sounds crazy. It kind of was, but I was able to do them for free, and that's why I did them, and it was miserable. Oh, there is a cooking pot, but I haven't seen any shock shrooms. I might as well use it to make some of those hardy things, though. Oh, okay, I thought I might be... The Lizalfos are the most perceptive enemies, so it's harder to sneak up on them. Thought I might be able to sneak up even in the rain, at least. Or not even in the rain, but in the rain, even against the Lizalfos is what I meant. What college classes did you take? I did a really intense science combo. I went to a special school alongside my regular high school for math, science, and engineering. I didn't do the engineering courses, and I just did bare minimum for the math courses because I didn't like math as much. But I did like university biology and university AMP were the two that I focused on the most. Mm. Science guy, I did really like science. I liked science and English. Those are my favorites. But yeah, I ended up doing a lot of that. Okay. Oh, it was really rough though when the time came to figure out like a proper degree after high school, because I love to learn science. I have no interest in working a job that would require a science degree. Do you know what I mean? That's just not for me. I just like to learn. I just like to study it. So it was really, really difficult to justify paying the lofty expense of going to university to finish the degree that I already had cooking. I don't know what to cook up. I think I mentioned the hearty things. Where are those? Do I need to? Okay. We'll do one in each dish. We'll do one big hearty radish with an herb. No herb. No herb. We'll do hearty radish, an egg, some butter, and we'll call that a day. I'll call that a meal. Bio degrees aren't that useful overall. It depends on the career. It depends on the career. I think a bio degree, which is what I would have gone for, right? If I continued my degree. It's useful if you go into a medical career usually. Like a bio degree can be very helpful for people that go into pre-med and then eventually become doctors, nurses, etc. Or if you become a biological scientist, like a marine biologist, that's kind of essential. But it's such a niche thing that I just could not justify. Actually, no, maybe not egg this time. Maybe we'll do hearty radish and nut and rock salt. What's that gonna do? Plus, it takes too long. I personally don't mind the wait. I do think time is precious and valuable, but for me, the main determinant that stopped me from continuing that degree was time, or not time, the opposite of that. Money and worth, right? Money and like practical use. I could not afford university, and if I was going to take out loans forever to go to university, in my mind, it should be something that I would actually use when I was done with it. So in the future, I'd really love to go back, because I really hate that I never finished my degree after all the work that I did put in. So I think in the future, when I can justify spending that kind of money on university, I'd like to go back and study again. Of course, I'll keep you posted on that, because that would inherently mean changes to my streaming schedule, right? But yeah, not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. Oh god, all these freaks. I hate these guys. Yeah, university is just too expensive in the States, unfortunately. Yeah. It's very unfortunate. That's just the way it is. There's no changing it. It's best to just try to be optimistic about it and work out a plan to work with what you have, in my opinion. Thank you for all the well wishes. I will do my best when the time comes. I will I think I'll have more confidence studying again after so long if that time comes, having you there to root for me. Oh my god! Can you chill out? What's your problem? Okay, so in-game phenomenon that we've just seen, I think, for the first time. If you use an electric arrow to shoot a body of water, it will explode into a humongous ball of electricity that you cannot avoid. It is so tough, so difficult. So, actually, hold on. Do you think it would be worth it to steal some of those? What do I have? No, I think I'm good on handheld weapons. Oh my god! I think that's our last fairy, too. Oh no, we got 2 more. Okay, let's do the Phoenix bow. We can get him from further away this way. Okay, that's a start. Oh, scary. You know what? Let's just snipe these guys from the shadows. I love when you do something to an enemy that forces them to like ragdoll in the distance. Want to save? This probably would be a good time. I usually just rely on the quick saves. I never save when I play this game personally. I'm the type that will just ball and trust that a quick save will help me out. I need these arrows. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wait. He doesn't even have an electric bow. Okay. I need to be more considerate. If they don't have electric arrows or a bow in their hand, I should just get them with my regular weapons instead of a bow. That way I can spare the arrows. Did you just spit at you? Yeah. Does it quick save at every moment? No, it just saves at specific times. Like when you... Oh, I wish I could go get that. Those are so valuable. You see that? That's a fallen star piece. Do you think I could get there? Do you think it'd be a bad idea to go there before Zora's Domain? Where would that be? That's on the path to Zora's Domain. I could justify that. Don't you think? Okay, how can we make that happen? Let's mark this on our maps. And let's hope it doesn't disappear. Anyway, it saves at specific moments under certain conditions. For example, if you are very close to an area with a bunch of enemies, it will automatically quick save with the assumption that you're going to get crushed, right? So that when you get crushed, you can go back to where you started and prepare and adjust your strategy. Or when you enter a new area sometimes, that could be considered a milestone, like a landmark moment. So it'll save at moments like that as well. Yeah, it just does it at very specific and sometimes just totally random moments. I think it also considers just how long it has been since the last quick save. I don't know about that for sure though. But I noticed that whenever I'm in an area like that or under a condition like that, that's when it usually will do a quick save for me. I think this will bring me up to that area, right? Hey, Link! Look below! Down here! Quick saves can be a gamble. I like that though. I like to gamble. I like to leave my fate in the hands of others. It's more fun to be out of control. You are still pretty far off, my friend, but I sure was hoping you'd be passing over this bridge, so I have been waiting for you. You will be in Zora's Domain before you know it. In fact, I'm going to head that way too. I shall meet you there. Whoa, Link! Beware, warrior! A monster approaches from behind you! What? Oh, wow. Okay, watch this. We'll hit him with the 1-2 combo. 1, 2, up. Oh, we both got each other. Oh, it'd be so funny if he fell off the bridge. You're nothing. You're dust. You're a fang, some guts, and a horn. Okay, we don't need that. Which way were we going? This way. The 1-2 combo, meaning both get springed into oblivion. Yeah, 1 and 2. Link and Moblin. That was what I meant in the first place, right? You believe me? No, that is not what I meant. I'm a liar. Liza Minnelli. Lies. Love the way you voice him. Thank you. I'm not as confident with anything British adjacent, and I feel like anybody who is British is probably like cringing to dust the moment I open my mouth to voice Sidon, but I think it's fun to try. I think it's fun to push yourself to do things you're not confident in. That's how you get better. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. It reminds me of like that walk down. It reminds me of the intro to Ocarina of Time. You know when you boot up the game? Like doo doo doo. Ooh. What's your problem? You want some? I don't think I want some. I think in this weather, this guy's the most dangerous creature in the game. I thought I just heard a heartbeat. That was kind of scary. know what? Might as well. Because if he shocks me, it's gone. I'm gone. I'm done for. Maybe I'll just leave him there, actually. All right, where is that? This way. They're so cute. Did you see that in the sky? What was all that about? Okay. Traveler's sword. Do you like my sword? Wizards are annoying to fight. The trick is to use an element that they're weak to. So ice wizrobes and fire wizrobes are particularly easy. Because I think it actually one-shots them. I don't know if it's in both games or what. But like if I have a fire arrow and I shoot that at an ice wizrobe, he's just going to turn to dust. Problem is, I don't know if there's a weakness like that for the electric wizrobes. The electro wizrobes. I don't know if they share this feature with their brothers. Is there anything up here for me? Yeah. Yeah. I showed you my sword. That's crazy. You're sick. Okay. Well, let's go get that star piece. Oh, and look, we can see Varuta. That's where it ended up landing. How cool. I love that sound. I love the sound of swords. I love everything about swords. The aesthetics are probably #1 in my heart, but I love the sound of a sword being drawn or slashed against something else. Sword ASMR. Oh, remember when we had our debut into Stardew Valley ASMR for about 3 seconds, and then I terminated that career immediately? Maybe we could do that with Zelda. All right, today we will be making our way to Zora's domain. Today, I have found a star fragment that has fallen from the sky. It's a little distant, and there's quite a large body of water that I'll need to cross to make it there. But I have faith in us. I think we can make it. So, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take off all of my clothes, not for any reason you might be imagining, purely because you're faster in water when you're naked. And I'm gonna try to see how far I can get just by gliding first. I think you travel a little more quickly when you glide than you do when you swim. So I think that... No, I can't do this. I don't have a... You seeing this? I guess he's got a barrier. I think we're gonna have to give up the star fragment. Where'd I put that? I don't think my mark is accurate when we're this close. I just got blasted by the effluent. What the heck? You seeing this, Applejack? I think it despawned. What? Is it not there anymore? After all this trouble. It was down there, right? Or was it somewhere in that direction? I think it was there on the... I think it was right next to the bridge. That is devastating. All right. That happens sometimes. I wasn't fast enough. It's okay. We'll see more of those in the future. All right, let's put some clothes on. Where your clothes at? Where your clothes at? All right. I think the domain should just be this way. And we have a high vantage point now, so we can just glide down. Yeah, it is kind of a bummer when that happens, but that's okay. I accept these things. That just makes it feel a lot cooler when you do successfully find one. I should probably remove this, though, so I don't think there's anything important later. What do the star pieces do? In terms of practical use, there are 2 uses. They can be sold for a fat amount of cash. You sell them for a lot of rupees. Alternatively, they're used in upgrading a certain cosmetic items, like your outfits, to be really, really strong. And the ones that they upgrade are the ones that I like to wear the most. They're used to upgrade, like, the other Link tunics. Like, for example, you can get tunics from Link from Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time. You can even get Wind Waker Link's tunic. You can get the original Link, like from The Legend of Zelda. There's Fierce Deity as well. Ooh, wait, I see a chest. I spy with my little thigh. Da 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 da. It always comes back to money. It's all about money. It's all about money. When you've been around the industry I have, I lost an ear to this business. No, could you imagine? Okay, let's go ahead. I love the music for Zora's Domain. It's so gorgeous. Look at him. He's waiting patiently for me. Oh, it's so pretty. I almost wish that Zora's Domain reigned forever. And not just when Veruta is being weird. Whoa! Hey! I love when Link does that little wave. I smile! I've been waiting for you, Link. Welcome! Behold the pride of my people, Zora's Domain. Now I shall introduce you to the king. Hurry, this way. Let's go! Hey, he's got $1 million smile. Oh my goodness. My speech is destroyed today. What's going on? I'm gonna take another sip of my tea. My tea. Care for any tea? Good evening. Some tea in it? Sorry, I'm behaving a little stupid. I've been a little stupid. Stupid. Bride of his people? No, that's in the second game. That's in the second game. Spoilers. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Okay. I go here so often, by the way. You will see me return to this place specifically for these Fleet Lotus seeds. These things are really, really good for making an easy food that makes you really fast. I just grab 5 of them and then I put them into a cooking pot and then I eat that whenever I need to be fast. They are truly like the goated ingredient ever. It's 1 a.m. here. Please don't bully us British people. It is 1 a.m. where we live here in Europe. Please don't bully. No, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine? No, I don't think I'm good enough at it to bully anybody. Sorry about that. Okay. How would this man talk? Is he Dorefon? Is that what his name is? King Dorefon? I mix them up sometimes. But that woke him up. Yeah. Wake up! It's no, actually, go to bed. It's time for bed. It's bedtime, innit? Ah, you must be the Hylian that Sidon brought here, correct? You did well to come all the way here. I am King Dorefon, ruler of the Zora. That object upon your waist. Is that not a Sheikah slate? Now that I've gotten a good look at you, it is all too clear who you are. You are the Hylian champion, Link! Do not tell me you have forgotten me. I don't know you. I've never seen you before. The Hylian champion? You can't mean the Link. That champion? So that's where I've heard your name before. What a fateful coincidence that we should cross paths. I cannot believe it. The Hylian champion Link has appeared before us. We have met numerous times, I'll have you know. Ah, so many memories. My mind is overflowing with nostalgia, my friend. I had heard a terrible rumor that you had fallen in combat, but it appears you managed to survive. Extraordinary. I've been sleeping. Come again? Sleeping, you say? Is that why you do not seem to remember me? But surely you must remember my precious daughter, Mipha, yes? You do you not? Mipha who? Doesn't ring a bell. I cannot believe it. Have you truly forgotten my dear Mipha as well? You and Mipha were so close, yet you do not remember her? Young hero, please,
Look upon the beauty of Zora's domain. Do you see that statue? Does gazing upon Mipha's immortalized form still not jog your memory?
No.
Well, perhaps your memory will return in time. I dearly hope so.
Father, I do not believe discussing my sister is helping matters at the moment. Link seems confused.
Oh, yes, of course. But first, it is worth noting how remarkable it is that Sidon brought a champion here without realizing it. That is quite a feat, my boy. That is a good one. Link, I doubt not that you have endured a great many trials. Still, I must ask you to hear my plea. Now then, hero, I must inform you that Zora's domain is in danger of vanishing because of divine beast Varuta. I shall do you the courtesy of speaking bluntly. We alone cannot stop this beast. Will you lend us your strength? What? King Dorifon, my liege, please do not speak so. To ask a Hylian for help, why, the very thought of it curls my fins.
What? I'll have you know that that is racist, Mr. Muzu.
Muzu, I expected more of you. How can you still protest?
Muzu, it is rude to speak that way to your king and his guest. Link is here because I invited him. With such unprecedented rainfall, we have no choice but to rely on the aid of a trustworthy Hylian. Have we not already discussed this and arrived at that very conclusion? He is the key to saving Zora's domain. I have no doubt in my mind.
Indeed. Link is a champion through and through. As things now stand, Zora's domain, nay, perhaps all of Hyrule, is doomed to be swallowed by the sea. This is bigger than all of us, my friend. Zora and the Hylians alike must put aside our differences and band together. Have you forgotten already, my king? We cannot trust these lowly Hylians. 100 years ago, they abused the power of an ancient civilization and turned Hyrule into what it is today. And that is not the least of it. It is their fault that Lady Mipha was lost to us.
Aw, he misses Mipha. Still racist, though.
Link. Divine Beast Varuta has great power. It has the unique ability to create an endless supply of water. Of late, it has been mercilessly spouting water into the air. As a result, this area has been plagued by heavy rains. For us Zora, water and air are as one, so you would not think this would be quite so critical of a problem. Sadly, the rains have filled the eastern reservoir nearly to the point of flooding. If the reservoir bursts, as soon as it will, I fear immense damage will befall not only Zora's domain, but also the downstream area from us. The area downstream from us. Their Hylian lives are in very grave danger.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
The divine beast Varuta is crying out again.
Oh, it's so pretty. I love the divine beast so much. Is it effluent? So cool. It's so cool. It's so cool.
The divine beast Varuta. Your princess Zelda often studied the divine beasts. That is, in the time before the Great Calamity. According to her research, the orbs located on Ruta's shoulders are mechanisms that can control the water it generates. However, they require electricity to work. These orbs are clearly out of control now, because there is no electricity coursing through to stop them. Second, who is quite shock resistant for Azora, hit one with a shock arrow. Sure enough, it slowed the water a bit. Unfortunately, as an aquatic race, we Zora are terribly vulnerable to the power of electricity. Perhaps because we could not safely strike it with enough electricity at once, the water soon returned to its full force. That is why I went in search of a Hylian who could help us. Link, I am certain you have already figured this out, but we need you to use shock arrows to get those orbs working properly again. I will aid you in any way I can, of course. Please, hero, I beg of you, help me stop Ruta's rampage of destruction. What? Princess Zelda herself instructed you to board the divine beast and appease it from within? So then, Princess Zelda is still alive?
Yeah, in Hyrule Castle.
I do not believe it. She was alive this whole time, just as you were. The events of 100 years ago cannot be altered, it is true. But if we can regain control of the divine beasts, they may yet prove useful in sealing Calamity Ganon once and for all. I did not know you had such grand ambitions, Link. Wondrous! Naturally, I shall help too. Once it has stopped rampaging, you can easily climb inside it. Come, Link. Let us appease Ruta together.
I'm in. Let's do this!
Thank you, Link. Truly, we are in your debt. Our goal is the same. That means our meeting was nothing short of destiny. Now then, allow me to offer you this gift as a show of faith.
Custom armor painstakingly crafted by each generation's Zora princess for her future husband. Did I just get proposed to on her behalf? Show me the princess. Where is she? Wearing it will give you the ability to swim up waterfalls. That's so cool. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
So long as you wear this, you can ascend waterfalls just like Azora. Please take good care of it. King Dorephan! Surely you do not really intend to give this outsider the Zora armor? Countless generations of Zora princesses have gifted that armor to the one they have sworn to marry. Princess Mipha made that one here with her own hands. It is far too important to entrust to a shady Hylian. He may be a champion, but Mipha had no such relationship with him, so why should he receive such an honor? This is just too much, my liege. I do not understand it one bit. That Muzu is not easily swayed once his mind is set. You must understand, he was in charge of educating my dear daughter Mipha. Naturally, she means a lot to him, just as she means the world to us. Ever since we lost her to the Calamity, he has grown to despise Hylians. I hope you can forgive his rudeness.
He does sound kind of jealous, like he wishes he was proposed to. No, I think he was like her guardian or something, like he just said. I think he was just like, I think when you play a parental role for somebody, it's kind of like they might as well be your kid, you know? So I think he feels a sense of responsibility to her post-mortem.
But what shall we do now? I tasked Muzu with finding the shock arrows we will need to appease Varuta, but now he has rushed off in a huff.
Link, do not let his words concern you. I will work this out with Muzu. I shall return shortly.
Whatever you say.
Sidon, I suppose that means you are going to tell him.
Tell him what?
Link, Muzu is most likely at the square down below. Would you mind going down there? I would like you to try to speak with him.
Okay.
I love the cutscene type dialogues so much in this game. I'm gonna take another sip of my tea, and we're gonna go see what Mudzu's talking about.
Let me say. Okay.
Why Link speaks like that? Because he's intrusive and annoying. That's my headcanon for this Link. That's how he talks in my head. No, I don't think he'd actually sound like that, but that's how he would sound. Does that make sense? Like, that's his personality. That's his inner voice. Yeah, hydration check. If you've got a beverage on hand, you should take a big fat sip of that as well. Let's get hydrated together. Cheers. Throat coat is one of the only teas that I don't mind as much when it gets cold, by the way. Like, it is cold. It is colder than room temp right now. And I'm still loving it. It's great. Feels like a treat. Oh, wow. Yo, Sagan, what's your problem?
Lady Mifa, what's this? I second the aptly named Demon Sergeant. Sergeant shall strike down the divine beast Varuta. What you doing? You're Link! Finally, I can avenge Lady Mifa! It has been 100 years since you last showed your face here. Now I, Segan, will cut you down myself!
You're tweaking, Sagan.
Playing dummy? Nice try, but you cannot fool me, Champion Link. You are unable to protect Lady Mifa from Calamity Ganon. It has been 100 years since we lost her. Poor Lady Mifa. How heartbreaking. I won't fail her again. There is no way we should ask for your help now, after all this time and after all that has happened. So says I, second, the Demon Sergeant. Even if this body of mine is destroyed, I will drown Ruta in shock arrows myself, and in doing so, Lady Mifa's regrets shall be alleviated. If you understand anything of courage, then get out of my way at once.
Oh, so, okay. Give me that.
Hey! I am in the middle of my shock arrow training. I must learn to withstand them. Did I not just tell you that? To commit such violence with a great Sagan standing right before you. In that case, you take the responsibility of appeasing Divine Beast Varuta.
I've already been given that responsibility, Gramps. Yeah, no, so I understand now. So the Zora, if they so much as get close to a shock arrow, it's dangerous for them because they're aquatic creatures. So that's why they can't deal with it. There's only one guy who can do it, and even he is still a Zora at the end of the day. All right. I don't care what you say.
Would please listen?
What's your story?
Hi.
You came all the way here, but it was in vain. I have no desire to speak with you. Listen well, Muzu. There is something you need to know. He who stands here, the man called Link, is the one whom my sister, Mifa, had feelings for. I was only a child then, so I did not know it myself at the time, but it is so.
Mifa. I mean, when we get to the afterlife, maybe, yeah. I'm just saying. She's kind of...
I grew up hearing my father tell stories. Some of which were about my sister's undying love for a Hylian named Link. What? No! You cannot fool me with such a fanciful lie! Not this, Zora! How could Lady Mifa possibly have feelings for a Hylian like him? The facts are clear. He remembers nothing, even when he looks upon Princess Mifa's statue. It is the truth, Mutsu. Though you never knew it, it was ever in Mifa's heart.
Oh, Mifa. I think of all the champions, she's the one I'm like the saddest for. Because she, you know, she was in love. She was an heiress to her throne. Her people loved her. And she was also a healer, so she was at a disadvantage, you know? She was pitted against somebody that could whittle her down to nothing. She wasn't a fighter. She's a healer. Of course, she's good with her trident, but like, that wasn't her main focus.
Are we on a date?
I was thinking. This reminds me of the time we first met.
She is so fine.
You were just a reckless child. Always getting yourself hurt at every turn. Every time, I would heal you, just as I'm doing right now. I thought it was funny how, being a Hylian, you looked grown up so much faster than I did.
Because Zoras live for like hundreds of years, don't they? They're like elves.
I was always willing to heal your wounds. Even back then.
Ugh.
Mipha.
So if this Calamity Ganon does in fact return, what can we really do? We just don't seem to know much about what we'll be up against. But know this, that no matter how difficult this battle might get, if anyone ever tries to do you harm, then I will heal you. No matter when or how bad the wound, I hope you know that I will always protect you. Once this whole thing's over, maybe things can go back to how they used to be when we were young. You know. Perhaps we could spend some time together.
She just wants to hang out. This world was not kind to her. She didn't deserve any of this. It's not fair. Mipha. And their childhood friends. You're kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Ugh. Oh, Mipha. Sorry you got sent back to spawn. What is the matter, Link? Are you unwell?
You are quivering like a hatchling. Whatever is the matter?
Mipha, I remember.
It is possibly unrequited. Yeah, because she never confessed to him in the end. And Link and Zelda do have an implied relationship. It's not confirmed. But they share a house. You know, in Zelda games in general, there are often multiple characters that are very openly invested in Link and attracted to Link. But because you play as Link and because Link doesn't often say much, it's never really confirmed. And they were roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. Am I ruining the moment? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is me coping. No, Mipha, I think, like I mentioned, she makes me the saddest of all of the champions. I feel really, really bad for her. Because, it felt kind of like a beginning to her life almost. Like, to her, the Calamity was like, once this is all over with, I can finally settle down and be happy. I can confess to the one that I like, and I can, you know, I can fit properly into my role as leader. Yeah, no, It's also tough knowing that Link might not have felt the same either. He might not have shared that. He might have just, you know, liked her as a friend. So even in the scenario where she does live and everything's fine, she still might not have gotten her love in the end. And that's just life, you know? You don't always manage to find somebody who feels the same way. Shed genuine tears in all her cutscenes. I did too when I played for the first time. I got super invested in her. Specifically, I think the one that really got me was the DLC cutscene, which I don't know if we'll do yet, but we'll see.
What? Do not mistake me for a fool, Hylian. There is no way you remembered her just now when it is most convenient. In any case, without any solid proof, I cannot possibly take you at your word. If you have any such proof, now is the time to show it. Do so, and I shall show you. I shall tell you how to get those shock arrows. Yes, as well as anything else you wish to know.
You got any ideas?
The stubborn fool.
Lucky for us, we have proof.
Link, go ahead and show Mudzu the Zora armor my father gave you.
Wait, because the Zora princess makes it. And let's get a look at some Zora anatomy here, all right? Zora to Hylian ratio comparison. You see this? So if she made something to propose to a Zora, it would fit somebody like this. It fit a guy that looks like this. Or perhaps it'd be like more of a regular Zora. Even then, hold on. We can find one over here. Here, this guy's probably a good example. It'd fit a guy like this, you see? So if she made armor for a Zora, it would not fit me. And so, as you can see here, Muzu, it's a perfect fit. Isn't that stunning? Look at that. Ah, I love the Zora designs. It's tight. It's nice. Looking good.
Muzu, look closely at the clothes Link is wearing.
Hmm?
You really think that changing your clothes is going to make me... What in the... That is the Zora armor from before. Lady Mipha made that by hand, and yet... It fits you perfectly. What is the meaning of this? Now you understand, do you not? Now you know who her heart belonged to, and who she made this special armor for.
Mipha. Oh, Mipha.
The fact that this armor fits Link perfectly should be proof enough that Mipha made it for him, and him alone. You have always disliked Hylians, even before the Great Calamity. That is why Mipha never told you. Now that you know, you must promise to help him save us all, Muzu. Please, tell us where we can find the shock arrows we need. Knowing you, I bet you've already figured it out. I never would have imagined she would make that special armor for one such as he. I do not approve of asking for help from a Hylian, but I suppose it is our only option at this point. I am a proud Zora. That means I must take responsibility for my unwarranted behavior toward you. As promised, I shall tell you where you can collect as many shock arrows as you will need. That tall mountain over yonder, it is called Ploymus Mountain. It is called Ploymus Mountain, and there you will find Shatterback Point. A terrifying creature has made its home up there. This awful beast shoots volley after volley of shock arrows. Even a single one could be fatal to a Zora. Aha!
Oh wait, aha!
Aha! You must mean that little. He is a man beast, that one. That beast does indeed wield shock arrows. That is certainly one way to collect them quickly. He is vicious, to be sure, but I am certain Link will arise to the challenge. In order to appease the divine beast, I estimate that you will need at least 20 shock arrows. Do you think you can gather that many? Why do you still doubt him, Muzu? I have no doubt that he will be triumphant.
I love Sidon. He believes in you.
Okay, Link, let's get moving. The fastest way to Ploymus Mountain is to ascend the waterfall east of the domain. That Zora armor should come in handy. Just swim to the waterfall basin and go up the waterfall from there. I'll wait at the East Reservoir Lake, right by the Divine Beast. Gather at least 20 shock arrows, and then come join me.
I'm on it. You got it, Haas. Only 20. I think I might get more to be safe. Also, just to have more, because then, you know, I can use them later.
Wonderful! Together we shall stop that Divine Beast's onslaught.
Oh, Mipha. Mipha, zoo. Nyam, nyam, nyam. Poor Mipha. Isn't she beautiful? I'm gonna take a picture of her. Actually, wait, do I already have one? Is that the reason I had that memory? I don't think so. Yeah, because there are some memories that you don't actually get from the pictures. There are some that you get from progressing the main story. Oh, she's so pretty. Mipha. Actually, maybe like maybe a rule of thirds would be nice. Ah, isn't that gorgeous? Actually, no, I think this side is the best after all because she's holding her spear in her other hand. Yeah, I want to try to make a habit. I want to get at least one scrapbook photo from every single stream from now on. I think I may have missed one. I don't know how many times I've played this game yet. But I want to have one for every stream. I want to take at least one photo. And that way, when we decide we finished Breath of the Wild, we can go through every single one and reflect on our adventure together. So that'll be our scrapbook photo for today. Okay. Let's see. Alright, here's the question. Do you think it would be a good idea to wrap up now and then start up the next stream later this week with getting the arrows and then going straight into the dungeon? Or would it be better to continue up to the dungeon today and then start the next stream with the dungeon right away? Because we have to... That's what's up next. Next up, we have to gather the equipment for... Actually, here, I'll straight up ask you, because I'm down. I'm down to continue here or stop here. But I really want to be considerate of VOD viewers, especially with Zelda streams. Do you think it would be easier to watch? Yeah, I'm going to make a poll. Okay. Stop here. Continue. Let's see. Get arrows later. Or continue until dungeon today. Okay. Start poll. Alright, what do you think? Because I'm truly down for either. I just don't want it to be a very difficult thing to watch in the future. Because I find that there are a lot of people that, due to time zone difference, for example, they have to watch in the future. They have to watch the VOD. And I think that it might be harder to take in bite-sized pieces if you have one VOD that's like 2 hours and ends at a random point, and then another VOD that does like 6 important things and is a billion years long. And get some rest. It is pretty tight. I hate to disappoint, but it is looking like stopping here is the move so far. Also adds a bit of an intro to the next stream. Yeah, that's true. I like to kind of ease into it rather than starting right away. So that kind of gives us something to do to prepare for the dungeon. Kind of warms us up, builds up the anticipation too, right? All right, thank you for responding so quickly. All right, we're gonna wrap up here in that case. Thankfully, we've got a hotel right here. Right here to the left, I think, is actually the hotel. So we can book our bed, and we can go to bed. Oi! I don't know what you need, but I'm talking to this guy.
Hi.
Hello, welcome to Seabed Inn. Wait, it can't be! You're Master Link from 100 years ago! Sorry, back to work I go. We're always happy to provide some sound sleep to weary travelers. Welcome to the Seabed Inn. Would you like to rest here? Something cute about the Zoras in general is that, I mentioned earlier, Zoras live hundreds of years. They're I think they're the longest lived race of anybody in The Legend of Zelda. I don't know if there's another one that lives longer. Like, I don't know how long the Gorons actually live. But yeah, because of that, they will recognize Link, where a lot of other Hylians are like, "Nice to meet you, stranger," All right. We shouldn't waste our money on the blissful waterbed because we've already got more hearts, so we're just gonna do a normal bed tonight. All right, until morning. Give us a good sunrise to wake up to. The waterbed is so good, though. We'll have to sleep here again next time and get the waterbed because there's like little different sound effects that play, I think. I don't know if it's in this game or Tears of the Kingdom or both, but in one of these games, when you sleep on the waterbed, you can hear the sound of Link like boinging up and down on it, like bouncing. Like you can hear the buoyant sound, like boing, 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 and he's like, haha! You know what I mean? It's so cute. All right, we are going to end the stream here. I'm gonna cross over to the home screen here in a moment, and I will show you my schedule for the rest of this week because I haven't shown it on stream yet. I try to make a habit of doing that any stream anyway, like every single stream, just in case you haven't caught up in a while. We'll find somebody to redirect to, and then we will part ways, unfortunately. Okay, where is it? This way. Uh-huh. Thank you so much for your support today. I always love playing Zelda, and I love being able to just chat idly without too much on my mind. So I hope you could enjoy the chat in between the random cutscenes today.
Yeah, I didn't think when I was initially planning out what we would do for today. I say planning out, but just kind of vaguely thinking about it because I didn't really have a plan. I was like, maybe we should avoid the story today. But I just found that I naturally ended up walking into the direction of Zora's domain almost by instinct. All right, let's see. Where is my? Ta-da! Okay, it is up to date. All right, so first up, we have to showcase this art for the weekly schedule. This is by, if you see the username in the bottom left corner, that's where I put it for each schedule. This is by Amasita Ukaen. So please go check out their Twitter. Go like the art. It's so cool, so pretty. They drew me with a capuchin monkey. Isn't it so cute? And he's got my glasses. Oh, I would cry if this happened, actually. I've never been that close to a monkey in my entire life. Okay. As for the items on the schedule, the things that we'll be doing for the rest of this week, I realized I didn't upload the schedule beforehand. That's why I tried to talk about it as much as I could. But yesterday I had a collab over on Mr. Vox Akuma's channel. Vox Senpai, we talked about monkeys, specifically named monkeys. There were some real ones, like Shabani, the really handsome gorilla, or like Bubbles, Michael Jackson's pet chimpanzee. But there were also fictional monkeys like Mojo Jojo and Spectre from Ape Escape. So if you missed it and you'd like to see how we decided they would win in a you know, gloves off brawl, knockout brawl in a tournament, like stadium, no weapons or anything, or I guess weapons, but you have to bring them in yourself. Feel free to go check out the VOD. It is over on his channel. Had a lot of fun. I laughed the entire time. Genuinely, I kept losing my voice. I lost my voice a little bit after, like I could not talk for a few hours after the D&D collab, and then the same thing, but for even longer after the collab on Vox's channel. I just laughed so much. I don't even know why. I was like, it's like I'm always giggly. Everything's always funny to me, but that day in particular, I was just, I was vulnerable. I was at my weakest. Anyway, today we played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We will play some more later this week. I'll get into that in a bit. But tomorrow I will take a day off, unfortunately. I need to take that day to reassess things. I need to work out a plan for monetization. I'm proud to say that I'm finally approved for it. So now I have to work out the details for, you know, giving you a proper stream to celebrate it. Because it's been so long, I feel like I owe you something bigger than just like, I'm monetized now. Here are your emotes. So I'm going to try to cook up something pretty special for it. I hope you don't mind waiting one more week. I hope that's okay. I really appreciate your patience this whole time. Yeah, this whole delay, I've never cared at all to wait. I'm the super, almost toxically patient type, in that I will wait 7 years for something that may never happen. But I have been a little frustrated just because I see that you've really wanted it. And it's made me sad that I wasn't able to give that to you right away. So thank you so much for your patience this whole time. Wait just a little bit longer. You'll hear about it pretty soon. I'll work it out and you'll probably see it on next week's schedule. Haven't determined when yet. I'm still waiting on one thing, and then I'll be completely ready. So look forward to that. Day after tomorrow, Wednesday, I will be playing Portal 2 for the very first time with Sable, my beloved wavemate. I was really stubborn about this. I had to get one duo collab in with every single person as soon as possible. So I tried to space them out, one per week at first. I've played Portal 1. I've played the first Portal, but I've never played Portal 2. So I'm very curious about how that might be similar or different. I've seen that there are a lot of really cool puzzles in it. And I really love the basic mechanic of Portal. I also felt like it was kind of a compatible overlap in our interests because I think Sable really likes a lot of FPS games. I know Portal is not a first-person shooter, but it is first-person, and you do operate something that kind of is like a gun, right? And I like puzzle games. So this is kind of like, you know, it's kind of like if we joined into a single game in my mind. That was my logic. It's not clear yet if we will finish it in a single stream because I think it can take like 7 to 9 hours depending on how compatible you are. But we might finish it in one stream. Otherwise, you can look forward to a second stream, a continuation, if we hit the 4-hour mark and are exhausted. I've been reaming him behind the scenes, by the way. I've been grilling this man. I've been like, you need to rest. No more double streams. Take a day off. So I hope you can appreciate the effect that I may have had. I don't know if it was all me or if he just learned on his own, but finally he's taking rest a bit more seriously. So I'm very thankful for that. I've been very worried about his health, and he said openly, because I try to mind my business. You know, it's not my place to intervene on somebody else's health or sleep, but he said that he was the type that needs intervention. So I proudly intervened. Practice what you preach. No, I think I rest plenty. Yeah, I get good sleep. My problem is that I sleep at the wrong time. That's my problem. Yeah, that's the reason you don't see any double streams for me. That's the reason I always try to give myself a day off so that I'm not overworking myself, because my belief is that while streams are really fun, I really enjoy them. I'd be doing them all day, every day if I could. I think for me specifically, there is a such thing as like too much of a good thing. You know what I mean? And I find that if I do too much of it, all of them will start to suffer and they'll be less fun. So I'm very strict about that. I may adjust my approach in the future as I get more of a handle of things, as I figure out what works. But yeah, please do not worry. I'm well rested. I'm in great health. I'm eating good now. I don't know if I've talked much about this, but I struggled to eat properly for my first week or two because I just could not make the time to cook. So what I've started doing is I'll spare one specific day or a couple days in a week, and I'll make a big dish, and then I'll save all of it in Tupperwares, and then I meal prep it. So I'm still eating I'm still eating pasta that I made several days ago, or before that I had chicken and rice, and that was really good. So yeah, I'm in my meal prepping arc. I kind of want to get into like healthy meal prepping rather than just meal prepping for the sake of meal prepping, because a lot of people who do that, they do it for like health and fitness. I'm very curious about like whether I could, because I'm very happy with the way I look and everything like that, and I think it's cool to look exactly the way you look. I think it's also cool not to think about it too much, but I am curious to see like maybe I could get stronger if I have a higher protein diet. You know what I mean? Maybe I could become swole. I'm not particularly interested in being swole. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I'm eating well. I'm sleeping well. Everything's great. You do not need to worry about me at all. Please do not worry for a second. And if I ever give you reason to worry, please do not be afraid to ask, because I will be so open about it. You go hit the gym. I would love to go to the gym. I'd love to go to the gym. There's no gym that I can access very easily, but I don't know. I'd really like to. I just end up jogging a lot. I try to jog, and I have a yoga mat that I exercise on. So I just do core and cardio. I don't do any like strength or anything. So that's realistically, I'm probably not going to get swole. Anyway, sorry, that's a tangent. I got distracted. Yeah, but I'm very excited to collab with Sable. I love that guy very, very much. He's very dear to my heart already, and I'm excited to have a stream where it's just the two of us. I feel like of By the Beat, we're the most chaotic, the most mischievous. I think when we are put together alone in a room, we come up with dangerous things. So I hope you can look forward to that. On Thursday, I will be catching up on Streamlabs tips. I'm very, very thankful to everyone who's tipped this whole time, even though I've not acknowledged or thanked a single one. I feel so bad about it. It's been so difficult to get a handle of like, when should I do this? How should I do this? Should I do every single one? So I'm going to try to start doing periodic streams like this where I just catch up en masse. And eventually, I want to get into the habit of just thanking them as soon as I see them on stream, so I don't have to catch up. Yeah, if you have tipped me or tipped me with a message from debut until now, I will be trying to go through every single one from debut order, like just not debut order, from the day of the debut, right? In order of the way it was received. So I'll start on March 14th, 15th. What day did I debut? I actually debuted, like my stream was on the 15th, right? Or was it? I can't remember. Anyway, I'll start there and I'll try to catch up to today. Realistically, by the time we reach the present, there may be too many more, so we'll have to see. But yeah, that'll mostly just be me thanking tips and also just talking about whatever the tips make me think of. Like you've just noticed when I was talking about health, I got on a tangent. It'll be like that. Somebody will be like, oh, blah, 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 this thing. And then I'll talk for 20 billion years about that thing. That's just the way I am. Then on Friday, you know what's better than one Zelda stream? We're going to play Breath of the Wild again. I've decided I want to try to progress through it a little bit faster. So I still want to go back to doing it on Sundays like I did the last couple of schedules. But I want to try to schedule a couple in a week, maybe even more in a week every now and then. Just so that we can finish it a little bit sooner, because there are so many games coming up in June with the Switch 2 that I desperately want to play. And if I'm still playing Breath of the Wild, I'll be hesitant to pick up too many more like series games, you know what I mean? But I also don't want to just drop it and then not finish it for 2 billion years. I want to give it a proper ending while it's still fresh on my mind, you know what I mean? So I hope that you feel the same and that you can appreciate that. So we'll see some more Zelda. But I'll try not to be too greedy. It's no lie that those are my favorite streams to do so far. I just love Zelda so much, and I love sharing it with you if you're unfamiliar. And I also love just loving it with you if you are familiar. So I look forward to that personally. And then on Saturday, I was thinking of making it a free day for monetization based on the thing that I'm waiting on. But to be extra safe, I decided to just figure that out for next week. So we'll just be playing another game. I will be playing Stardew Valley. That's my Zatsu game of choice. Just be yapping the whole time while I farm. And I want to try to go for long enough that we're either at the end of spring or close to the end of spring. Either halfway there or all the way. I'm very curious about how far I can get if I buckle down. I'd like to keep the vegetables fresh in my mind so that we can, you know, clear out something in the community center. maybe participate in the festival that's to come. I don't think we're close enough to any of the villagers to do the flower dance, so we're probably going to be third wheeling on the side, but that's okay. It can stoke our heart and make us try extra hard to find a date for the next year, right? But that will be the schedule for this week, so I hope that you can look forward to at least one of these items. I will do my best to make them nice and fun, and I will have lots of fun either way, even if I'm not trying. So that is everything for today. Let me find somebody to redirect to. And while I find them, I will remind you of good raid etiquette. There's a lot of unspoken rules and customs when it comes to watching VTubers, and I've noticed that with By the Beat, we've attracted some new people who aren't familiar with VTubers in general. Sorry, I have to move my bar. Okay. But we've attracted some people that are new to VTubers in general, which I'm endlessly thankful for. To be clear, it makes me so happy. Genuinely, it means the world to me that anybody would consider this hellscape of a community and have us as their first. So I feel like it's a good habit to reiterate things that might not be as obvious. Here in a moment, we are going to channel our energy into somebody else's stream. Yep, you're here right now watching me. Well, not watching me play Breath of the Wild, but just watching me yap my head off. But here in a moment, we're gonna find somebody new. We're gonna go to another channel. When that happens, I'm gonna need you to do something for me, okay? First things first, when we get there, I need you to scroll down to their rules and read them, okay? Make sure you read their rules. Make sure you follow their rules. Follow them to a T. Be nice and polite. Don't break any rules. Straightforward. Less straightforward one. Don't go in there and start talking about me. Don't go in there and start talking about Zelda, okay? Don't start being like, oh my god, Kaelix was so cool today, by the way. Don't do that. That's weird. And that just is uncomfortable for the other streamer to deal with. When we get there, there's a chance that he'll be like, oh, Kaelix, what'd you do today? Did you have fun? And you can say, we played Zelda and it was cool. And that's it. And then you start talking about Tomodachi life. By the way, we're raiding into Mr. UQ Wilson. I happen to overlap with his stream time today, which is a little rare because I think he tends to stream a little bit later. He's my favorite work BGM streamer, I think. He's always streaming whenever I'm working. And he has a low enough energy, just very chill vibe. Anyway, he's playing Tomodachi Life. Looks like, oh, wait. Is he not playing Tomodachi Life? Game no work. Huh? Tomodachi with... Oh, wait, is he playing Tomodachi? Oh, I guess maybe he scheduled something else, but he's playing Tomodachi Life. It looks like Miss Finana Ragugu. Miss Finana Senpai is there as well. So we're going to cross over, see what that's all about. Get invested in Wilson. Get invested in Miss Finana. Get invested in Tomodachi Life. Whatever it is they're doing. Be nice. Be cool. You know the drill. All right. I think that's everything I should get through. So thank you so much for your support today. I had so much fun, and I really missed hanging out with you lately. I had too many collabs back to back. I'll try to be more careful about my schedule in the future, so there won't be so much of a drought of solo streams moving forward. You may see it again, though, especially like near immediate future, like the next few weeks, because there's a bunch of cool events cooking up, and I just gotta get my toes in there. You know, I gotta sink my teeth into it. So apologies when that happens, but I'll do my best to keep it in my mind at least. All right, I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Mata ne. Mata ashita. Or no, not tomorrow. I will not see you tomorrow. I'll see you in a couple days. Mata ne. Ja ne. Bye bye. Ridiculous. Bye bye.